Hello everyone, subscribe to my channel to not miss new trending manhwa.
A desperate shout pierces the icy air. Everyone. This raid unleashes a terrifying, colossal flower beast upon the hunters. Panic sets in. No matter how I think about it, isn't this way too hard? Their pleas for backup grow frantic. When is the support guild arriving? As doom looms, a mysterious figure opens a sinister, glowing red book. He commands the terrified party, everyone, stand back, his eyes burning crimson. A devastating wave of red energy explodes outwards from his position. The monstrous creature is instantly riddled with glowing red spears, screeching in agony. Disbelief washes over the surviving hunters. It's real. The red-haired streamer grins wildly at his camera. Viewers, can you all see this clearly? He's revealed as the hunter of hunters, surrounded by deadly crimson spikes. A hunter gasps. It's Hunter Ki Shin Beck as Beck smirks confidently. Someone watches the live stream, unimpressed. The hunter of hunters, huh? His son scoffs. So what? He can't even show up to his son's graduation. The son, Seung-yeon, stands alone at his graduation, checking his phone. A classmate approaches Seung-yeon, flowers in hand. Seung-yeon, why are you alone? The classmate asks, where are your parents? Seung-yeon replies, my parents are busy. His classmate then requests, can you take a picture of us? Seung-yeon's phone frames his classmate happily posing with his proud parents. Seung-yeon dutifully takes the photo, a simple "yeah" escaping his lips. Seung-yeon stands alone, repeating, my dad is busy. He then thinks about his mother, wondering where she is. His mom appears, a weary look on her face as she glances back. She's been by his sister's side, who's tragically in a coma. For 12 long years, his sister has remained unresponsive. Seung-yeon finally finds his mom, a hint of accusation in his voice. He questions why she missed his graduation. She apologizes, explaining her duty. Seung-yeon erupts, just one day would have been fine, right? Why is it always about her? He demands, his frustration boiling over. His mother's calm rebuke, your voice is getting loud, cuts through his anger. Suddenly, his father, Ki Shin Beck, appears, bloodied and stern. Dad? Beek's voice is cold, as so fast. I told you not to raise your voice at your mother. Seung-yeon falls silent, a bead of sweat trickling down his face. With a defiant, Seung-yeon turns to storm off, his father watching. Where do you think you're going? Beck demands as Seung-yeon shouts to the training grounds. Beck sighs, still at it, I've told you over and over again. His father's words cut deep. With your talent, you'll never become a hunter. Beck delivers the crushing final verdict, just give up on being a hunter already. The scene shifts to the exterior of the training grounds building. Inside, a masked Seung-yeon fiercely parries a glowing orange strike during intense combat. His opponent, Lee Ju-young, owner of the training grounds, looks on with a curious Ju-young, blocking Seung-yeon's strike, asks, why are you so aggressive today, Ki Seung-yeon? Ju-young slides back, his foot kicking up sparks from the force of Seung-yeon's attack. Their wooden swords clash violently, Seung-yeon gritting his teeth with fierce determination. Ju-young's counterattack sends Seung-yeon skidding backward, a look of surprise on his face. Suddenly, glowing blue chains begin to manifest around Seung-yeon's arm, catching Ju-young off guard. Seung-yeon leaps into the air, the ethereal chain swirling around him like whips. Got it, Seung-yeon exclaims, as the chain successfully ensnared Ju-young's sword. Ju-young's eyes widen slightly as the glowing blue chains bind his weapon tightly. With his sword immobilized, Ju-young is surrounded by the swirling chains and a new wave of energy. Seung-yeon stares intently, his hands outstretched as the blue chains respond to his will. Ju-young ducks low, narrowly avoiding Seung-yeon's chain-assisted strike with his wooden sword. A brilliant flash of blue energy erupts as their attacks nearly connect. Ju-young smirks, sword resting on his shoulder. That one almost worked. Seung-yeon lies on the ground, exhausted, as Ju-young critiques. If only your chains weren't that weak. Ju-young suggests, why not try fighting without using your ability instead? As Seung-yeon glares. The scene shifts to Mejibin restaurant, Ju-young saying, come on, don't be so mad. Inside, Ju-young offers Seung-yeon black bean noodles, but Seung-yeon retorts about free meals from the broke. Ju-young suggests eating before another spar, reminding Seung-yeon about his Hunter Academy exam. Seung-yeon shouts, no way, rejecting Ju-young's advice to take it easy until the results. Seung-yeon grips his chopsticks, stressed about competitors with multiple abilities and even returners. He despairs, shouting that at this rate, he'll never become a hunter. Determined, Seung-yeon thinks if he wants his dad's acknowledgement, he can't just sit around at home, feeling defeated at the restaurant table. Ju-young watches Seung-yeon with a knowing, serious gaze. You can't do that, Seung-yeon, Ju-young advises as Seung-yeon remains dejected. Ju-young explains that home and family should be a safe haven, especially if it becomes uncomfortable. He warns that without that, Seung-yeon will have nowhere to turn when struggling. The scene abruptly changes to a downpour, rain lashing against a dark backdrop. A man in a green hood passionately addresses a crowd in the rain. It has been 100 years since the monsters appeared. The speaker reveals monsters have been disguised as humans for decades. A young man stands soaked in the rain, his expression grim and resolute. These disguised beings, returners, falsely claim this world as their home. Let's tell them, the hooded figure passionately roars into the microphone. This is not your home, echoes as we see Sung-yeon's mother by his comatose sister. Ju-young's past words resurface. Home and family should be your safest place. Return to the hell you came from, the speaker incites, as the young man clenches his fist. His phone delivers crushing news. He failed the Seungyeon Ability Academy entrance exam. Did not pass flashes. The speaker's returned to hell, haunting his failure. Ju-young's warning rings true. You'll have nowhere to lean on when it gets tough. His phone smashes onto the wet ground. Return to hell, damn it, he screams. As people pass by under umbrellas, he yells, "This is already hell." Sung-yeon's face contorts in anguish. Where exactly do you want me to go? His fist clenches, rain soaking through his already drenched shirt. Defeated, Seung-yeon slumps onto some steps, his phone lying broken in a puddle. He looks up, a flicker of resolve in his eyes despite the downpour. Suddenly, his cracked phone lights up. An incoming call from Mom. A single tear traces a path down his rain-streaked face. He reaches down, picking up the still ringing, damaged phone. Turning away from the indifferent crowd, he answers, "Hello?" Seung-yeon, still in the rain, listens to his mother with a puzzled HMM. His confusion deepens into a shocked, "What?" as he processes the news. Now at the hospital, drenched and disheveled, Seung-yeon stares in disbelief as his mother exclaims, "This is truly amazing." A doctor explains to his mother that his sister's condition is surprisingly good, despite being bedridden for 12 years. His mother, tears streaming, turns to a stunned Seung-yeon by his sister's bedside. "Seung-yeon, say hello to your sister," she urges, as he faces the girl he barely knows. The scene shifts to the hospital exterior at night, Sung-yeon's internal WHAT, echoing his shock. Back inside, his mother gently insists, "Your sister is anxious, so you should be with her." Seung-yeon, having changed, tries to excuse himself. "Let's go back. I also have a lot to do." He argues, "No matter what, she's your sister. I don't even remember talking to her." "What sister?" His father sternly warns, "Ki Seung-yeon, be careful with your words," but Seung-yeon snaps back. "Is that something you should be saying, Dad?" Seung-yeon grips his father's gown, accusingly. "You're the dad who only says good things, right?" As his mother pleads, "Stop it." He defiantly states, "I refuse," while his mother watches with concern. From her hospital bed, his bandaged sister, So-hyun, quietly echoes, "I don't want to." Both Seung-yeon and his mother turn, their attention caught by So-hyun's unexpected words. His mother gently tells So-hyun, "It's okay," as Sung-yeon's expression shifts slightly. Seung-yeon turns away, his shoulders slumped in resignation. Time passes and Seung-yeon narrates, "After that, I started spending about 3 days a week at the hospital, showing reading by So-hyun's bedside." He continues, "Mom seemed to hope I would become closer to my sister while I was with her, but," revealing So-hyun's melancholic gaze. Seung-yeon remains absorbed in his book, the distance between him and his sister palpable. Sung-yeon's hand materializes a shimmering blue chain, an ability he's honing. He narrates, "Even after that day, I didn't stop training, practicing with his chain in a secluded alley." The haunting did not pass flashes again, fueling his grim determination. Yet doubt creeps in as he walks the hospital corridor. What meaning would it have, though? He pauses at So-hyun's door, his expression weary and conflicted. Entering, he finds her bed empty, the window open, and gasps, "What?" So-hyun sits alone on a park bench outside, lost in thought under the moonlight. Seung-yeon spots her, shouting, "You were here," startling her into a small EK. "I found you," he exclaims as she apologizes, "Sorry, I was frustrated." He then surprisingly asks, "Can we stay here for a bit?" leaving So-hyun to question, "What?" Seung-yeon sits awkwardly beside So-hyun on the bench, his thoughts a jumbled mess. So-hyun breaks the silence. "Well, Seung-yeon," as he looks up from his phone. She hesitantly asks, "Do you dislike me?" causing Seung-yeon to flinch. So-hyun clarifies, I got a little scared of your personality." Seung-yeon retorts, "I guess you started to become like Dad. You were cute back then." He adds, "-12 years ago. I was 5 years old. I don't even remember that time." So-hyun's eyes sadden as she concedes, "I guess that's true." She voices her despair. Mom and Dad are old, friends are gone. I can't even go to school. Her hands clench tightly in her lap as she begins. Suddenly. Tears stream down So-hyun's face as she confesses, feel like I've become all alone. Sung-yeon's eyes reflect the moonlight, her confession hitting him hard. The word alone overlays a memory of Seung-yeon isolated in a crowd. As So-hyun cries, Sung-yeon's voice cuts through. That's nonsense. He reassures her. Mom is here. Dad is here. And I'm here too. What do you mean, alone? Seung-yeon adds. You can make new friends. Not going to school doesn't mean you can't. His own words spark a realization, his expression firming. Yeah, that's right. He internally connects. I don't have to go to Hunter school. Ju-young said he never went. Sung-yeon's face shows renewed determination. It's still too early to give up. So-hyun, looking down, offers a small, heartfelt, thank you. Seung-yeon then asks, I want to go back now. But how did you get here without a wheelchair? Sung-yeon's eyes widen as So-hyun reveals an unexpected truth. Suddenly, So-hyun floats gracefully into the air, surrounded by shimmering blue stars, leaving Seung-yeon speechless. What's that? Seung-yeon shouts as So-hyun casually explains. I went to the fairy world while I was asleep. She adds with a smile. I learned this there, while Seung-yeon stares, completely stunned by her newfound power. A news report flashes, detailing returners who claim to have visited other worlds. Seung-yeon recalls a harsh voice. You can't become a hunter with your abilities. As So-hyun floats, the taunt with your abilities echoes, contrasting with her effortless display. She gently descends back towards the bench, the magical stars twinkling around her. Seung-yeon watches her, his mind reeling from this impossible revelation. Elsewhere, their mother gasps, oh my goodness. Witnessing something truly unbelievable. A flashback shows a younger Seung-yeon and So-hyun, happily covered in dirt. As their mother playfully scolds them, their mother calls them inside, but little So-hyun wants to play more. So Mom promises they'll play again tomorrow. A poignant thought appears. People believe that tomorrow will be just like today. As young So-hyun watches her mother and brother, the narration continues. The future remains an unknown realm for everyone. Over an empty playground, young So-hyun stands alone, gazing at the now empty sandbox where they once played. A surreal image shows their younger, blue-haired selves playing joyfully, observed by their older, current selves. The scene transitions to a quiet cityscape at dusk, hinting at the passage of time. Another memory surfaces, a much younger Seung-yeon wailing during bath time, as his mother patiently washes him. The flashback shows a warm family dinner, with Mom feeding a toddler Seung-yeon, while So-hyun eats beside them. Little So-hyun yawns on the floor, her younger brother asleep on the couch, as their mother watches over them. A younger So-hyun lies in bed, eyes wide and hopeful. She wonders aloud, what should we do for fun tomorrow? Her eyes close, a gentle smile on her face as she anticipates tomorrow. Suddenly, one eye snaps open, a bright, magical star gleaming within it. In her dream, a shimmering fairy figure floats above her, saying, hello, friend. The fairy winks, declaring, you have been chosen by our world. So-hyun looks astonished as the fairy asks, would you like to join me in saving it? Before revealing she spent 6 months in the fairy world, an abstract, swirling pattern appears with the stark text, 12 years have passed. We see So-hyun, now older, awake in her hospital bed, her long blue hair sparkling faintly. A close-up on her hospital gown as a thought bubble states, it's confirmed. Officials confirmed to So-hyun's mother, your daughter is indeed a returnee. A special bracelet, meant to seal powers, proves useless against So-hyun's returnee status. An official presses So-hyun. What exactly did the fairies do to you? So-hyun begins. They taught me many things, including things you're not supposed to do there. She learned how to use magic and vital knowledge for survival in the fairy world. Crucially, they taught her how to survive the formidable fairy queen. The lead official looks stunned by the mention of the queen. So-hyun explains. Yeah, she was really bad. Defeating her meant I could come home. The official stares intensely, concluding, so, you killed the queen and returned here. So-hyun and her mother gasp in shock as So-hyun quickly denies, oh no. So-hyun explains things worked out, but the official warns, still. The abilities of a returnee are dangerous. He continues, revealing, every single returnee has come back after saving another world. The official's point becomes clear, meaning, Miss So-hyun. Seung-yeon listens from the doorway as the official declares, you possess power equivalent to an S-rank hunter or higher. The official adds a chilling note, and no matter how safe an ability may seem, it can change after the return process. He then instructs So-hyun, so from now on, you must not use your abilities. Your parents will have to ensure that. So-hyun's eyes widen slightly at this strict prohibition. The official informs them, starting tomorrow, a government-affiliated hunter will be assigned to monitor you. Hearing this, a disheartened Seung-yeon walks away down the corridor. The official concludes the meeting with a formal, "Thank you for your inquiry." As Seung-yeon walks away, a harsh assessment of his abilities begins. The report states his physical skills meet basic requirements but are inadequate for monster combat. His chains are weaker than real ones, lacking any special properties. In fact, his manifested chains perform worse than actual, physical chains. Crushed, Seung-yeon sits alone as his ability is officially classified F rank. He stares at the floor, the weight of the assessment settling in. Suddenly, a voice calls out, Seung-yeon, and his gaze flickers up. So-hyun, still in her hospital gown, approaches her dejected brother. She tries to reassure him with a nervous smile. Don't be scared. There's no reason to be afraid. Seung-yeon remains downcast as So-hyun insists, really, nothing has changed. So-hyun stares as Seung-yeon bluntly tells her, go. He repeats, head bowed, I said go. I want to be alone. So-hyun's eyes reveal her confusion and hurt at his harsh words. She nervously asks, why, beads of sweat appearing on her face. Her hand trembles, clenching her gown, as she questions, why are you acting like this? Seung-yeon looks up, his face etched with pain, beginning, did I do something? He suddenly explodes, just go away, his distorted figure looming over a stunned So-hyun. So-hyun flinches, her expression filled with shock and fear from his outburst. Seung-yeon turns and walks past her, his face hidden in shadow. He trudges away into a swirling abyss of despair, leaving So-hyun watching helplessly. Seung-yeon walks dejectedly through a bustling, sunlit street, lost in his thoughts. A closer look reveals the profound sadness etched on Seung-yeon's face. Back in the hospital corridor, So-hyun stares after him, her expression a mix of shock and hurt. On the street, Seung-yeon stops, head bowed, wondering, what am I doing? His internal monologue continues in a boring way as he feels out of place. Suddenly, Seung-yeon looks up, a flicker of concern as he thinks, oh no, what do we do? He notices a crowd gathering, murmuring amongst themselves and wonders what's with these people. His eyes widen slightly as he tries to understand the commotion around him. Through the crowd, he spots a bloodied man being escorted, a shocking realization dawning, Dad? The scene shifts to the hospital exterior under a starry night sky, hinting at the passage of time. Later that night, So-hyun sits alone in her hospital room, gazing at the starry sky. Her expression is somber, clearly worried about her brother and their situation. Elsewhere, Seung-yeon is completely broken, crushed by his F-rank assessment. A painful memory surfaces, a younger, carefree Seung-yeon, full of joy. Back in the present, a determined glint appears in So-hyun's eyes. Suddenly, her hospital bed is empty, the window open as starlight streams in. So-hyun, now in her pajamas, floats upwards, leaving the hospital behind, surrounded by stars. Her face is calm, eyes glowing faintly as she ascends into the night. Her feet lift off the ground, defying gravity as she rises higher. Her long hair flows majestically, infused with the same starlight guiding her flight. So-hyun, surrounded by starlight, arrives at a desolate, overgrown playground. A memory surfaces, a younger So-hyun, alone and sad at a bright, normal playground. The glowing stars around her seem to connect her to this ruined place. Again, flashes through her mind, recalling her mother struggling with a crying baby Seung-yeon during bath time. Back to that time, she remembers a happy family meal with her mother and a younger Seung-yeon. Tears stream down her face as she cries out, I want to go back. Yet, she remains in the present, declaring, I'm still here in the eerie playground. Suddenly, two men appear behind her. So-hyun whips around, startled by their presence. Who are you? She demands, as one of the men calmly asks who she is. The other man questions, do you even know where you are? Leaving So-hyun utterly bewildered. One man explains the playground was sealed years ago due to a dungeon break. He offers to guide her up, but So-hyun nervously insists she's fine. Suddenly, the man brutally strikes So-hyun down with a bat. So-hyun, stunned, barely registers the attack with a feint. The attacker stands over her fallen form, declaring, okay, since I caught it, this one's mine. His companion angrily demands, hey, you king bastard. Why'd you kill it? The attacker dismisses his partner's complaint, questioning why he's whining. The other man can only utter in disbelief, huh? What the hell? A third man appears, and all three turn, sensing something amiss. So-hyun, bloodied but defiant, begins to push herself up from the ground. The attacker sneers, oh till damn, she's still alive, as So-hyun stares back, utterly shocked. He wonders why his hard hit didn't crack her skull, while So-hyun questions why they attacked her. From above, the three men loom over So-hyun as she weakly warns them, Stay back. So Hyan, still on the ground, desperately extends a hand, threatening, if you come any closer, I'll shoot. The men mock her, one suggesting she's escaped a psych ward as her hand begins to glow faintly. A small, ethereal figure appears in So Hyun's mind, holding a book, announcing, let's see. The magic I got this time is. The Sagittarius symbol flashes and So Hyun's determined eye as the voice reveals. It's called Sagittarius. Surrounded by starlight, So Hyan reassures them, but don't be scared. As a glowing bow materializes, she explains, as the ethereal arrow forms, it doesn't kill people when they get hit by an arrow. So Hyan aims her celestial weapon, declaring, it just petrifies them for a little while. A blinding pink explosion erupts as So Hyan unleashes her power. Her eyes blaze with fierce intensity, witnessing the arrow's devastating, unexpected impact. A chilling voiceover warns, but as we said, even safe abilities can change upon returning. The three thugs recoil in terror, bathed in a crimson glow from So Hyun's overwhelming might. So Hyan is violently thrown backwards by the recoil, pink starlight chaotically swirling around her. One attacker gasps as he's horrifically consumed by a shadowy, blood-red vortex. So Hyan, stunned and bloodied, stares at her glowing hand, whispering "Oh." As the altered power courses through her, the narrative suddenly shifts. Seung Yun stands confused in a crowd. What's with these people? His eyes widen with alarm, scanning the street for the source of the growing commotion. He chokes out, "Dad," as he spots his injured father being escorted through the chaos. His father's face is a mess of blood and shattered helmet. Another bloodied man supports his father, who slumps weakly. Onlookers gasp, "Isn't that the person from YouTube? Seriously?" The supporting man grimly wonders, is he dead? Seung Yun stares, lost and horrified amidst the faceless crowd. The man glances back, surrounded by uniformed personnel. Nearby, a body lies covered by a blood-stained sheet on the pavement. The man confronts Seung Yun. "Where did you leave your sister behind?" As Seung Yun mutters, "Can I even go for a walk?" The man's bloodied, stern profile reveals his grim determination. "Is this your first time seeing a corpse?" The man asks, and Seung Yun quietly confirms, "Yeah." The bloodied man states grimly, "4 out of 10. Seung Yun's eye widens slightly, processing the stark number. "That was last year's mortality rate in the hunter industry," the man reveals, his face still stained. He continues, detailing how Timur suffered serious injuries, and one quit from trauma. Seung Yun lowers his head as the man adds, "There are no exceptions, rookie or veteran." The man looks down at Seung Yun, declaring, "This is the kind of world we live in." He then challenges Seung Yun directly. "Do you have the confidence that you can survive in this world?" Seung Yun looks up, hesitating, only managing to utter, "I." The man places a heavy hand on Seung Yun's shoulder. "That's probably the extent of your resolve." The scene shifts to a stark hospital building under a dark, starry sky. Seung Yun walks alone at night, a fresh bloodstain marking his shoulder. He internally admits, "Yeah, I've always been like this," refusing to admit. Scattered, broken chains symbolize his shattered denial. That my abilities are lacking, that this is my reality, he thinks, recalling the grim scene. His mind flashes to a TV screen, showcasing a team of idealized, confident hunters. A memory surfaces, a younger, innocent Seung Yun, eyes wide with awe. That child once watched heroes, but now, grown Seung Yun thinks, "Now, I don't know anymore." He looks up, questioning his path. What do I even want to do? The scene shifts to So Hyan, floating in a cosmic void, pondering, being a hunter. Seung Yun, still walking, suddenly looks up with a confused huh, as if sensing something. Seung Yun looks up, shocked. "What? Is that my sister?" Seeing a bloodied figure, So Hyan stands before him, face hidden in shadow, clothes stained, radiating an unsettling pink aura. He stares, beads of sweat forming, utterly bewildered by her appearance. "Sis, is that blood on your clothes?" Seung Yun cries out, "Are you hurt?" So Hyan flinches at his panicked questions. "What happened?" A stern man in a suit interjects, "Even so, a returnee's abilities are dangerous." So Hyan weakly murmurs, don't come," amidst the swirling pink energy. Confused by her warning, Seung Yun can only ask, "What?" Tears stream down So Hyun's face, blood dripping from an eye as a menacing, bloodied figure looms over her. The red-haired man above her screams, "Don't come near me," his eyes blazing. The red-haired man throws his head back, consumed by a raw, pink-tinged agony. Outside the hospital, a powerful pink light erupts from behind the trees. The pink energy explodes violently, sending leaves flying in all directions. A stark black screen appears with text, "Currently, outside the hospital, there is." Seung Yun sits dazed amidst the chaos as an announcement begins. Once again, We repeat this announcement. So Hyun screams, overwhelmed by dark, swirling energy. As the announcement warns of a violent intruder. Do not go outside. The warning blares as Seung-yeon yells, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Tears stream down So-hyun's face as she cries, nitrogen monoxide. I don't want this, stop it now. Her desperate plea echoes, please stop. I don't want to kill anyone, as dark tendrils lash out. So Hyun is violently flung backwards, screaming. As Seung-yeon reaches out in a maelstrom of dark pink power, an announcement blares, police are called, remain calm. As Seung-yeon reels from the indiscriminate use of power, the chilling decree follows. This warrants immediate on-site elimination. Seung-yeon panics. What do I do? Call dad. Then realizes, no, the police will be faster. His eye widens, a silent exclamation marking a dawning, dreadful thought. He turns away, questioning his next move. Should I? Seung-yeon stares at his own bloodied hand, the stark reality sinking in. He looks down at the crimson stain, a grim reminder of the unfolding horror. A dark silhouette of Seung-yeon emits, his hand glowing faintly. I can't beat my sister. Turning his back to the chaos, he resolves with grim certainty, I have to run. He looks away, trying to convince himself. This isn't my fault. Seung-yeon, bloodied and looking down, trails off. Anyway, he sees his current, battered self towering over a small, innocent child version of him. The younger Seung-yeon gazes up, wide-eyed and mouth agape in pure surprise. Suddenly, the present Seung-yeon looks up, shocked as vibrant pink energy swirls around him. Elsewhere, So-hyun, now with flowing pink hair, curls in agony, thinking, I hate everything now. Her tormented face is shown as she thinks, now, I don't want anyone else. While Seung-yeon's thought echoes, sister. Tears stream from So-hyun's glowing pink eyes as Seung-yeon screams, sister. Seung-yeon lunges forward, his bloodied hand outstretched amidst shattering ground and explosive pink light. He yells desperately, sister, can you hear me? Wake up, his face a mask of determination. So-hyun, amidst her pain, shows a flicker of recognition, thinking, Seung-yeon. Seung-yeon, bloodied, grimly accepts, this is the kind of world we live in. He grits his teeth, narrowly dodging pink energy beams, shouting, I know. A stark realization hits, risking your life to save others. That's what hunters do. Seung-yeon screams through the chaos, sister, don't panic. So-hyun, lost in pink energy, questions, why as Seung-yeon tries to reassure her. Her bloodied hands tremble as she thinks, why are you doing this for me? I'm not like I used to be. Seung-yeon gently takes her hand, his determined gaze asking, what do you mean? A vision of a heroic So-hyun appears, hailed as the hero who saved our world. The present So-hyun, confused by this idealized image, can only utter, She looks down, distressed, no. I'm just an adult in appearance. So-hyun despairingly thinks, I have no friends, it's dangerous. And I even saw someone. She concludes, so, everyone must hate me. But Seung-yeon's voice cuts in, that's not true. He grits his teeth, chains glowing, declaring, at least I don't. As So-hyun's bloodied eyes widen, amidst swirling pink energy, So-hyun realizes Seung-yeon is risking his life for her. Something she's never seen. A serene, ethereal voice gently urges, go back, So-hyun. Seung-yeon's bloodied hand extends, a glowing chain shooting out against a chaotic pink backdrop. He finally reaches her, cradling So-hyun protectively as police cars arrive on the fractured street. So-hyun, bloodied and tear-streaked, cries out while being held tightly by Seung-yeon. Seung-yeon looks on with fierce determination, the text announcing, Episode 3 right here, home. His blood-stained eyes narrow, filled with an unyielding resolve. A flashback shows a young, innocent Seung-yeon exclaiming, yeah. The present, bloodied Seung-yeon affirms with closed eyes, that's right, I can do this. As police approach the devastated scene, an officer calls out, hey, towards Seung-yeon. To figures in a car observe, a man asks, did you just see that boy? While a woman replies, no. Text reveals, that night's incident was wrapped up by the police. The aftermath, a blood-splattered restricted area, is described as a small disturbance that never even made the news. So-hyun's somber face appears beside the crime scene, with the word and hinting at more. Now in a cell, So-hyun's situation is called an even smaller story. A guard announces through cell bars, visiting hours have started as So-hyun looks up. So-hyun, in a blue uniform, is escorted down a sterile white corridor by 3 officials. So-hyun recalls her mother's tears, thinking, last time, she cried so much. Escorted by a guard, So-hyun enters a room to see her father, wondering, what should I even say? Her eyes widen in surprise as she takes in the scene. Her father sits opposite, his expression stern and unreadable. They face each other across a stark visitation table, a clear partition between them. So Hyun, head bowed and sweating, nervously stammers, "Adi, Dad." Her father declares, I'm here to get you out today," causing So Hyun to look up, astonished. He explains, "The person your mom brought last time, a memory reader I hired." They examine the incident. So Hyun reacts with shock as a vivid memory of her powered form flashes, her father continuing. "And the truth they found is this." He reveals the findings. "Those people attacked you first, and you used force to defend yourself." As an image shows her violent self-defense. So Hyun, bandaged and in her prison uniform, looks utterly bewildered by the legal jargon floating around her. Her father states, "You did nothing wrong, so you're being released." But So Hyun stammers, But because of me, someone." He quickly clarifies, "The person you fought didn't die," explaining healers can handle it, leaving So Hyun stunned. Her father firmly reassures her, "You didn't kill anyone that night," as So Hyun gasps. A single thought bubble appears, "That's a relief." Tears of pure relief stream down So Hyun's face as she sobs, "I'm so relieved. I'm so glad." Her father watches her emotional outburst, a pensive expression on his face. A woman in a sharp suit and glasses enters, asking, "Are you done talking?" To which the father affirms. The woman explains, "We couldn't cover the property damage. You'll still need to pay a fine." As they walk down a corridor, she dismisses his thanks, saying they owe 100 Ki Shinbek, then questions if he's sure. Warning, they'll find out someday. The woman then drops a bombshell, "The person your daughter attacked. The truth is, they did die." Her father watches So Hyun leave, hoping she'll be strong enough when she learns the real truth. The woman hands him an envelope, saying, by the way, take this. Some documents sent for your daughter," she explains as he examines the contents. He clenches the papers, his face contorting in anger, demanding, "Who is it?" A new character, casually eating chips, appears as the father's voice asks, "Who sent this garbage?" Meanwhile, a bandaged Seung-yeon intensely practices, his blue chains crackling with energy. His glowing chains expertly whip out, crushing a line of soda cans with precision. Seung-yeon sighs in frustration, while the chip-eating man observes him from a bench. Another person asks Seung-yeon about the strange man, who apparently bought a day pass and just watches. The mysterious man, still munching, tells Seung-yeon to ignore him, but Seung-yeon complains his snacks are distracting. Seung-yeon, frustrated, asks if the man is the reason for his poor performance. Chains faintly glowing. The man sharply questions if Seung-yeon would complain about distractions in a real battle, stunning him. He elaborates, in a dungeon, unexpected variables like this are common. Crushing a chip, the man declares, "If something this small messes with your performance, that just means you lack training." Seung-yeon, taken aback by the critique, confronts him, "You know me or something?" Agitated, Seung-yeon demands, "Why are you picking a fight? Do you have any idea how much effort I put in?" The man coolly replies, "That part, I do know," as Seung-yeon watches him turn away. Seung-yeon is visibly shocked as the man continues, "Your physical ability and instincts, I'll give you credit for those." Suddenly behind him, the man delivers a harsh truth, "But your skill in using your ability, it's garbage," as Seung-yeon reels. The man explains, "Your chains are powered by your energy. The more you use them, the more energy you drain." He criticizes, "But you're putting way too much force into every move. That's why your precision is terrible. Professionals don't waste that much strength," he declares, holding up a snack. "They do it like this." With a sharp look, the man unleashes a focus beam of blue energy from his fingertips. Seung-yeon stares, utterly shocked, as the snack is perfectly pierced by the man's energy. The mysterious man smirks, asking, "Got it?" as Seung-yeon and another onlooker are stunned. Amidst crushed cans, the perfectly impaled snacks demonstrate incredible skill, Seung-yeon notes. He didn't even break the snack. As Seung-yeon wonders who the stranger is, the man adds, "One more thing. You don't even know your true power." He presents a strange, talisman-covered cylinder. "This is an item summoned by Eridurni. Try touching it with your chains." Seung-yeon extends his glowing chains towards the item, while the man smirks, thinking, "Just as I thought." The man prods Seung-yeon, "Remember what happened at the hospital?" showing a flashback of him comforting So Hyun. He leans in, eyes wide, exclaiming, "I saw it the moment your chains touched your sister." A vivid memory shows So Hyun's immense power vanishing as Seung-yeon's chain makes contact. The mysterious man, his own chains glowing, reveals, Your chains have a unique, unprecedented ability." Seung-yeon is dumbfounded as the man declares his power, the power to seal a returnee's abilities. The man critiques, "Swinging them around wildly doesn't mean you're trying hard." He elaborates, "Green chains faintly visible. True effort comes from understanding your skills and using them properly. Seung-yeon, processing this, finally asks, "Who are you, really?" As the man explains, this unlocks potential. The man smirks, introducing himself. "I'm Chai Ji-hyung, a hunter and a professor at Seongan Ability Academy." Chai Ji-hyung then drops his purpose. "Today, I came to enroll you." Seung-yeon stares blankly, bandages still on his head and face. He stammers in disbelief. "What? Me? At the unexpected offer?" Seung-yeon protests. But I already failed the entrance exam," but Ji-hyung casually dismisses it. Don't worry. I have recommendation authority." Ji-hyung smirks confidently. "Your ability is more than enough to pass in my eyes. All you have to do is decide." Ji-hyung presses further, asking the bandaged Seung-yeon, "So, will you join?" With renewed determination, Seung-yeon passionately exclaims, "I'll go." As Seung-yeon declares to Hunter Academy, Chai Ji-hyung grins, pleased with the decision. Ji-hyung presents an envelope, officially stating, "Welcome to Hunter Academy." Suddenly, a golden, disc-like object spins rapidly across the surface, Korean sound effects emphasizing its motion. A sharp, focused eye watches the spinning golden disc with intense concentration. Suddenly, Chai Ji-hyung is struck by the golden disc, the envelope flying. Seung-yeon turns in shock to see his father, radiating an intense, ominous red aura. His father glares, demanding, "Explain yourself, Chai Ji-hyung." The furious father questions, "What kind of nonsense is this?" Ji-hyung, wincing, cheekily replies, "Hey, shouldn't that be my line?" The father confronts Ji-hyung directly, his anger palpable. Seung-yeon, caught in the middle, stammers in disbelief, "Dad." Ji-hyung casually greets him, It's been a while, Hyung." As the father notes Ji-hyung's wrinkles, Ji-hyung teases about reunions, while the father sternly asks what he's up to. Putting an arm around Seung-yeon, Ji-hyung innocently claims, "I simply sent recommendation letters to some students." Ji-hyung reveals he also recommended So-hyun, an S-rank power, and Seung-yeon for his unique ability. The father protests, claiming So-hyun is too young and won't adapt to such a school. Ji-hyung counters, "Adapt, you say?" reminding the father about So-hyun's recent incident. He vividly recalls So-hyun's destructive rampage, calling her a ticking time bomb. Ji-hyung argues she needs specialized training, but the father insists he can teach her. The father, with a stern gaze, calls Ji-hyung stubborn and prepares another point. He cruelly declares, "This kid has no talent whatsoever," referring to Seung-yeon. Seung-yeon, shocked, peeks from behind his father, who adds, "You've seen it too." The father glares at Seung-yeon, coldly stating, "The end of a half-hearted resolve is death." Seung-yeon, sweating and wide-eyed, is visibly shaken by his father's brutal assessment. Chai Ji-hyung fiercely refutes the father's harsh words, his eyes blazing, "No." Ji-hyung taps his temple, recalling, "I saw it. Ki Seung-yeon throwing himself in danger to save his sister's such spirit." He passionately argues with the father, "That's the kind of courage a hunter needs." The father, radiating fury, snaps back, "That's not courage. That's recklessness, Chai Ji-hyung." He then interrogates Seung-yeon, "Did you even know your sister's ability? Or how to stop her for sure?" Seung-yeon, sweating, stammers, "But if I hadn't been there, sister would have." His father dismisses this, "That's just hindsight. It only worked because you luckily had the power to stop her." He warns Seung-yeon, "Relying on luck like that is the perfect way to get yourself killed," leaving Seung-yeon speechless. The father tells Seung-yeon, "Ji-hyung is sweet-talking you. You'll be crushed by competition at the academy." Ji-hyung coolly counters, "Our school supports recommended students. Should I tell the headmaster about your interference?" Seung-yeon internally questions his father's harshness. "Why are you doing this?" He desperately wonders, "Just one time, can't you say I did well?" Seung-yeon longs for simple words of acknowledgement. "Thanks to you, your sister survived." His fist trembles with unspoken frustration. Why does no one ever? Seung-yeon's hand clenches tighter, his inner turmoil palpable. A close-up on Seung-yeon's eye reveals a flicker of pain and resolve. Ji-hyung places a reassuring hand on Seung-yeon's shoulder. "Congratulations, Ki Seung-yeon." Seung-yeon turns, his gaze meeting his father's disapproving stare in the distance. Ji-hyung encourages him, "The professor acknowledged you. You're one step closer to your dream." As Seung-yeon utters, "Huh?" Seung-yeon looks down, conflicted, murmuring, "No, but." Ji-hyung advises Seung-yeon, "Don't overthink it too much. Follow the path you believe in." He adds with conviction, "I believe in your path too." Ji-hyung stands beside Seung-yeon, a supportive hand on his shoulder. His grip tightens as he speaks of both the road ahead. Ji-hyung gestures emphatically, "And the path you've walked so far." Seung-yeon looks down, his bandaged face reflecting on Ji-hyung's powerful words. Ji-hyung firmly states, "You don't need anyone else's approval." He glares pointedly at the father, especially not from those who know nothing about you. The father's expression shifts slightly as he murmurs, I see now. He realizes, looking at Seung-yeon, so this is why he's so obsessed with becoming a hunter. The father's eye glows red with fury. It was you. He accuses Ji-hyung, you're the one who filled his head with that foolish dream. Seung-yeon turns, his expression shifting as he looks towards Ji-hyung. Seung-yeon, head in hand, tells Ji-hyung, thanks to you, I've come to my senses. He looks down, admitting, at first, yeah. Seung-yeon recalls, at first, I just wanted to be like Dad. As an image of his father's team appears, he continues, I was just some fool chasing pathetic thoughts. But that day at the hospital was different. A flashback shows Seung-yeon reaching out during his sister's rampage. Back then, his younger self looks up at his injured, older self. A moment of realization. Seung-yeon's face is resolute. I wasn't pathetic at all now. I'm ready. Seung-yeon boldly declares, I'm going to become a hunter, even if it means going against Dad. His father, shrouded in a menacing red aura, glares down with cold resolve. A close-up on the father's glowing red eye reveals his chilling thought, I knew it. The father reaches out, stating ominously, you just won't understand with words. As Seung-yeon flinches, his father's hand clamps down hard on Seung-yeon's shoulder, a grip of iron. The father, holding Seung-yeon firmly, challenges him, then go ahead and try. Seung-yeon stares back, wide-eyed and visibly startled by his father's sudden shift. His father predicts, what? Once you're there, you'll realize it for yourself. That this isn't the path meant for you. Then a surprising turn, but I have two conditions. The father lays down his first demand, first join the student council, leaving Seung-yeon utterly bewildered. The father declares, fail the student council within a year, you're unfit, and I'll drag you back. He then adds his second condition, protect your sister, leading Seung-yeon to stammer. And my sister. Father explains her unstable abilities mean she must attend the academy with Seung-yeon. He sternly warns, ensure she thrives there, or I'll drag you back by force for this too. The father challenges, can you do it? Seung-yeon, though sweating, resolutely answers, why yeah. His father's hand slowly releases Seung-yeon's shoulder. Turning his back, the father begins to walk away down the corridor. Seung-yeon, Ji-hyung, and another onlooker watch in stunned silence as he departs. Seung-yeon breathes out, did he leave? I thought I was going to die. The father walks alone down a city street at night, his solitary figure receding into the distance. Seung-yeon calls out, Hyung, his voice laced with concern. Ji-hyung turns, agitated, telling him to join the student council isn't that too much. He argues they're all elites, and F-rank first year like Seung-yeon can't possibly make it. The father retorts, if you want to be a hunter, expect such challenges. As Ji-hyung scoffs at his nonsense, Seung-yeon turns to Ji-hyung, his expression serious. He confesses, looking down, I never wanted to drag anyone into this path. A flashback shows his father's team as Seung-yeon admits, but at first, I just wanted to be like Dad. Seung-yeon's profile shows a hint of a smile, a newfound resolve. Ji-hyung looks back, startled and speechless at Seung-yeon's words. Seung-yeon looks down, a contemplative mood settling over him. Ji-hyung watches the father leave, questioning, was I the one who pulled them in? Meanwhile, Seung-yeon's sister sits in a hospital room, bandaged and contemplative. She beams, holding her Seongan Ability Academy admission letter, as February brings new hopes. Seung-yeon, too, prepares, his gaze fixed on the path ahead, a chain manifesting from his hand. As March approaches, a massive passenger ship awaits, ready to take students to the Hunter Academy. Seung-yeon and his now vibrant sisters stand ready with their luggage. The ship to the academy departs. A flashback begins. A young, terrified boy stammers, this has to be a lie, right? Amidst chaos, a woman protects him as he cries out, there are still people here. He looks up at a lone figure silhouetted against a blinding light, shouting, you're a hunter. The figure, a sharply dressed man with a book, points forward as the boy screams, a hunter can't do this. The boy's scream echoes, a memory of pure terror. Seung-yeon jolts awake in a cold sweat, his nightmare clinging to him. He sits bolt upright in his bunk, gasping for air from the vivid dream. A friendly voice from the top bunk asks, are you okay? His bunkmate wonders if he's seasick, but Seung-yeon just calls it a bad sleeping habit. The student guesses Seung-yeon is a freshman, not having seen him before. He introduces himself as Sun Purium, a second year, offering a welcoming hand. Seung-yeon, now calling himself Seal Subin, returns the handshake with a sharp smile. Nice to meet you, Subin replies, as their academy ship glides across the vast ocean. Elsewhere on board, someone inspects a case packed with formidable hunter equipment. Subin's sister spots his gear, asking, why do you have so many swords and weird stuff? He casually admits, I swiped a few useful things from Dad's drawer. She gasps, swiped? What if Dad gets mad and turns the ship around? Subin dryly asks Sis. Just what kind of person is Dad in your head? He dismisses her worry. There's no way he'd actually do that, as she clasps her hands. Still anxious, his sister suddenly declares, I'm gonna walk around a bit, prompting Subin to ask, what, alone? She insists, you'll get lost. I'm coming with you. While he's still by the open case. And she reminds him, room 105 I won't forget. Subin, looking stressed, questions her, and what do you say if a weirdo tries to mess with you? She innocently suggests, I call for you? He sighs in exasperation, muttering, ugh, seriously, it's like raising a kid. Subin looks forward with a steely gaze, a faint scar visible across his nose. His internal monologue declares, now's when things really matter, as he looks out a window. Seagulls soar freely in the bright sky, as Subin's thought echoes, yeah, it's important. On deck, Puri muses, a new school year means meeting new people. He believes getting close to talented freshmen makes school life easier, valuable connections. Purium's expression darkens, but stopping at just that makes you a novice. His intense gaze focuses, Purium, right now, from what I see, you're just a novice. A bespectacled student with Subin asks Purium, so what exactly are you trying to say? Purium scoffs, making friends with freshmen, sure, that's fine. He then grabs the student, demanding, but next time, bring a cute girl. As the student shouts about his obsession, Subin apologizes for Purium, now identified as Jian Woojin, who's being shaken and lectured about dating. Woojin retorts, don't whine to me, go find someone yourself, as Purium glances away. Oh, I have been looking. Purium's eyes land on Subin's sister on deck, feeding seagulls, Subin's sister wonders aloud why the seagulls keep avoiding her snacks. Suddenly, she fumbles, and the bag of shrimp chips tumbles from her hands. Out of nowhere, Purium deftly catches the falling snacks, surprising her. He smoothly returns the bag, saying, here you go. As she gasps, ho. She thanks him, beaming, while Purium seems struck by her innocent charm. Confused, she mutters, seagull, then looks around puzzled. Purium holds up a chip, musing that the snack might not have drawn the birds. He smirks, taking a bite, but it definitely called forth something else. The sister looks utterly bewildered by his cryptic comment. Purium, all smiles, strikes up a conversation. Are you a freshman? What's your department? Subin asked Woojin if Purium's attempt at charming his sister is going well. Woojin notes she isn't fleeing, but Subin dryly observes she looks trapped by Purium. Subin then questions Woojin about Purium claiming to be a second year. Purium, overhearing, clarifies Woojin was admitted last year but is still a freshman like Subin. Subin asks if Woojin was held back, and Woojin confirms Seongan doesn't hesitate with failing grades. Woojin adds many on board might be repeaters, some even re-enrolling expensively after expulsion. As they observe other students, Woojin remarks that everyone here seems to have money to spare. Woojin muses a Seongan diploma secures a job, but Subin looks unconvinced. Subin begins, well, honestly, as an image of the sinister hunter from his past flashes. He crushes his can, coldly stating he doubts people like Asterisk that Asterisk even deserve to be hunters. Woojin looks up, startled by Subin's intense statement. He then notices Purium and Subin's sister walking off. Huh? Are they moving seats? Subin, with a chilling look, decides, let's follow them, and Woojin complies. Their pursuit leads them to a plain door labeled 105. Inside room 105, Subin casually asks what from his bed as his sister appears. His sister, looking distressed, stands with Purium at the door, stammering, well. She suddenly exclaims, a weird guy was messing with me, while Purium looks taken aback. Purium appears utterly stunned, his face a mask of disbelief at the accusation. Subin listens, his expression hardening. As she reveals, he asked if I had a boyfriend. His eyes gleam with cold fury as she finishes, then suddenly started touching me her hand. Outside room 105, Subin confirms with Woojin, he went in there. Subin instantly kicks the door in, sending Purium flying across the room. Purium, stunned on the floor, pleads, hold on. We can talk this out, my friend. Subin lunges, retorting, this is my way of talking, you son of a, as Woojin desperately yells. Stop. Seonyun asked if Woojin caused trouble again, while Purium, still on the floor, declares he has no regrets about his actions. A disembodied voice exclaims in shock, wait, she woke up after 12 years. Woojin, realizing the sister's vulnerability, shouts, she's basically a kid, apologize. Forcing a meek sorry from Purium. Now seated inside, Purium awkwardly says he should apologize for getting punched. As Woojin notes the room's impressive size, Purium then turns to Seon-yoon. You said you're 17, right? Same age as Subin here. Subin offers a friendly smile to Seon-yoon. Let's get along. I'm Seel Subin. Seon-yoon, a bit flustered, replies to Subin. Yeah, let's get along. The five of them, Purium, Subin, Woojin, Seon-yoon, and Subin's sister, now walk down the ship's hallway. Woojin asks Seon-yoon, you said you're in the hunter department, right? To which Seon-yoon affirms. Woojin then inquires about his favorite hunter, and Seon-yoon admits, my father's a hunter. So, I was influenced by him. Woojin looks intrigued by this, prompting, your father is. Subin suddenly connects the dots. Wait a sec. Your last name is Kyo. Could it be? He looks intently at Seon-yoon, asking, you know Hunter Ki Shin-baek? An image of the renowned hunter Ki Shin-baek appears as Seon-yoon coolly answers, of course. Seon-yoon then calmly reveals, looking directly at Subin, he's my father. Subin is utterly floored by the news, exclaiming in disbelief, what? Woojin and Purium reel back, exclaiming, are you serious? Really? At Seon-yoon's bombshell? Subin, however, clenches his fist, declaring, wow. I'm a huge fan of his, as Woojin chimes in. Me too. A flashback reveals a younger, terrified Subin being shielded by an injured Ki Shin-baek. The memory shows Ki Shin-baek, resolute, holding a glowing book, a true hero. Back in the present, Seon-yoon observes Subin's reaction with a bead of sweat. Woojin and Purium excitedly grab Subin, who thinks that guy recalling his savior. Subin earnestly tells Seon-yoon, your father was my role model as the ship sails on. He continues, when I was young, I also dreamed of becoming a hunter, looking wistful. Purium, surprised, asks Subin, huh? Then, you're not from the hunter department. Subin admits, I'm in magical engineering. As an E rank, the hunter department was impossible. Seon-yoon humbly mentions he's just an F rank, prompting Subin's sister to look up HM. She then cheerfully declares, now my younger brother is in the hunter department, even though he's an F rank. Subin is utterly stunned by this revelation, as are Woojin, Purium, and Seon-yoon. Woojin shouts, what? How? While Subin fumbles for words and his sister starts to explain. His sister proudly clarifies, we got him through a special recommendation. As Subin awkwardly pats her head, Subin then comically grabs her head with both hands, making her eyes swirl as she yelps. He scolds her for spilling their secret, while Woojin mutters about them inviting trouble. Seon-yoon, watching the siblings squabble, calls out, Hyung, to Subin. Subin turns to Seon-yoon, encouragingly stating even E ranks can become hunters, admitting he also got in. Purium observes the group, his expression suddenly turning serious and thoughtful. The sun shines brightly as their voyage under clear skies continues. Their massive ship forges ahead, leaving white trails across the vast ocean. Elsewhere, Woojin patiently shows Subin's sister a game, just press this here, as she looks intrigued. On deck, Purium flirts with some girls while Subin walks alone, observing the other students. Subin lets out a sigh, thinking to himself, I'm bored. His gaze then falls upon Purium, who stands alone looking out at the sea. Purium turns, noticing Subin's somewhat downcast look. What? Are you getting seasick or something? Facing the ocean once more, Purium quietly confirms, yeah. A seagull suddenly swoops down, landing on the railing right between them. Subin, looking out from his phone, poses a direct question to Purium. Why do you want to become a hunter? Purium hesitates, taken aback by Subin's serious inquiry. He begins, like I said earlier, my father. But Subin interjects, no, not that. Subin presses further, I mean something like a conviction, a mindset type of question, leaving Purium to ponder. Mindset? Purium scratches his head, looking slightly embarrassed as he admits, not sure. With a dramatic shift in art style, Purium confesses, I've never really thought about that. Subin elaborates, the seagulls still perched nearby. When you watch the news, you see a lot of people becoming hunters with a light-hearted attitude. He continues, his words sharp, just making easy money. Only chasing fame, those kinds of people. Purium, glancing at his phone, acknowledges, well, I guess there are hunters like that too. Subin passionately states, they don't realize that the benefits of being a hunter come with just as much responsibility. He concludes firmly, that's why I don't like those kinds of hunters, as Purium listens intently. Purium, seagull between them, turns the question, then why do you want to be a hunter? Subin's answer rings out with idealism, want to be a hunter who saves everyone. He then looks down at his phone, pondering, Purium delivers a shocking blow. That's why you shouldn't come to school. As the seagull departs, Feathers float by as Subin looks up, completely stunned by Purium's statement. Subin, bewildered by the sudden shift, asks Purium what? Purium grips the railing, voice sharp. An E-rank can just work hard, is awakening mere luck. He turns, eyes cold, stating grimly, once a rank is set, it never changes. Subin listens, his hope dimming, as Purium adds, plus, this school's tuition means you need a rich family. Purium concludes, like you? His accusation hanging. As an image of the heroic Ki Shinbek appears, Purium finishes his harsh assessment, someone with a rich father. Subin, blushing with anger, retorts, you really have a nasty way of talking. I got here even though my ability awakened late. Purium coldly dismisses him. Awakening an ability has nothing to do with effort. He continues, if you suddenly gained an ability, it just means you were unaware of what you already had. A vivid flashback shows a younger, battered Subin desperately using a glowing chain to reach a girl in peril. Subin looks up, stunned, as Purium states, you are just lucky enough to realize it. Purium presses on. The fact that you have an ability special enough to be admitted through recommendation. He glances down at their feet. The fact that we're standing on the ship as Hunter Department students. Purium looks directly at Subin, was ultimately given to us by luck. Subin looks down, disheartened, as Purium adds, yet, you don't even understand something so obvious. Talking about becoming a hunter. Purium scathingly continues, saying that hard work is enough. He derides telling someone who abandoned their dream after an E-rank that they just need to work harder. What nonsense. As Subin's own words to Seon-yoon are recalled, Subin snaps, you little bastard, lunging as Purium coldly likens his maturity to his sister's. Subin throws a furious punch straight at Purium's face. Purium effortlessly dodges, Subin's attack misses, throwing him off balance. The sudden thud startles Woojin and Subin's sister, who drops her game. They look over to see Subin sprawled on the deck, Purium standing calmly. Purium casually remarks to the others, Seon-yoon suddenly fell, it's fine. Subin's sister exclaims, my little brother is so clumsy, while Subin, on the ground, thinks, what was that just now? Subin realizes, right before my punch landed, something appeared that changed my trajectory. Purium coolly observes, on top of that, you've got a habit of throwing punches first. Subin, furious, retorts, people like you are the ones who ruin the hunter industry. Purium coldly advises, if you listen to me, you'd be better off giving up on being a hunter. As Purium turns to leave, Subin glares from the deck. Suddenly, a glowing blue chain erupts from the deck, ensnaring Purium's ankle, who exclaims, HMM. Woojin and Subin's sister gasp in shock at the sudden development. Woojin shouts, what? Again. While Subin's sister asks, is there something on the floor? Purium stumbles to his knees, caught by the chain, muttering, TCH, this is. Subin stands, challenging Purium, so, you're saying I got here just by luck? That I don't deserve to be a hunter? Purium, still caught by the chain, looks up with a defiant flush, fine. You're right, I was lucky to end up here. Subin clenches his fist, retorting, as long as I'm standing here. That gives me the right to aim to be a hunter, don't you? He turns away, resolute. There's no way I'm leaving the school by choice. Leaving Purium on the deck. Purium, wiping his mouth, smirks from his position. With your rank, staying here will be tough. Subin's voice echoes with conviction from off-panel. Then, let's find out. He issues a grim challenge. Meet me here at midnight. Let's see who survives tonight. As Purium grins with anticipation, night descends as the massive academy ship navigates a fierce, rain-swept storm. A close-up on an eye reflects the turbulent weather, a quiet voice affirming, it's okay. A memory or vision shows a luminous, childlike spirit, vowing something important will never disappear. The hopeful thought lingers amidst stylized stars. Someday, for sure. Subin's sister jolts awake, tears streaming from a terrifying dream. She sits alone in her dark room, the storm raging outside her window. What? She murmurs, wiping her eyes. It was just a dream. A lingering tear traces a path as the nightmare sphere remains. Clutching her blanket, she whispers with concern, Seon-yoon. Now in the dimly lit hallway, she uses her phone to search for him. Seon-yoon. She calls out worriedly, where did you go? A sudden hey from behind makes her spin around with a frightened shriek. Woojin appears with two others, asking, Ho, my ears. What are you doing over there? Still flustered, she questions them back, What about you guys? Woojin explains, we're heading to another room to hang out. As his friend curiously asks about Subin's sister. Woojin, holding his phone, kindly invites her, I see. Want to come with us? Surprised, she asks, Hummy. While Woojin's companion suggests it's a good chance to meet classmates. She enthusiastically agrees. Why yeah, I'll go. Completely forgetting her search for Seon-yoon. A cool, stylized shot of Seon-yoon appears, bandaged and resolute, against a backdrop of chains. Woo-jin leads the way, announcing, "This is the place," as they peer into another room. Inside, a boisterous student recounts a story to others amidst snacks and drinks. A striking, pink-haired girl with red eyes calmly sips her drink. Oh, they're here. Sit. Sit. Woo-jin freezes, a bead of sweat on his face, simply uttering, "Oh." He abruptly turns to leave. "Hey Hong-yoon, I'm out," as the girl beside him exclaims, "Huh?" Soo-bin's sister questions Woo-jin's retreat as the pink-haired girl insists they sit. Distracted, Soo-bin's sister marvels, "Oh, so many snacks," peering into the lively room. Woo-jin looks utterly petrified while his friend blames him for bringing Soo-bin's sister. The pink-haired girl, Hong-yoon, sweetly calls out, "Hurry up and come sit, Woo-jin." Woo-jin reluctantly agrees, Yeah, I'll join," as Soo-bin's sister beams. Hong-yoon curiously asks, "Who's this?" as Woo-jin introduces Soo-bin's sister as a new freshman friend. Soo-bin's sister cheerfully waves hi, while Woo-jin pats her head. Hong-yoon studies Soo-bin's sister with a knowing smile, replying, Yeah, hi?" Soo-bin's sister happily munches on a snack, oblivious to the boy with glasses' nervous glance. Suddenly remembering, she asks, "Where's Seon-yoon?" But her new friend has no idea. The boy with glasses realizes at some point Soo-bin was missing from our room too. He recalls Soo-bin's earlier confrontation with Purium, wondering, isn't that weird too? As heavy rain pours, he speculates, are they both up to something? Elsewhere, Purium stands under an umbrella in the downpour, exclaiming, "What the heck?" Soo-bin appears opposite him, clad in a raincoat as Purium observes that outfit. They face off on the rain-swept court, Purium thinking, "It's a raincoat," while Soo-bin retorts in his mind, "No one said it wasn't." Purium internally scoffs, "It just doesn't look like the right gear for a fight," as Soo-bin thinks. "It's raining, idiot." Soo-bin mentally questions the umbrella, while Purium plans to stay dry as long as possible. Their eyes lock in a silent, intense stare down through the relentless rain. Both simultaneously wonder if the other is a complete idiot for their choice of rain gear. Soo-bin exhales, a glowing blue artifact materializing as Purium's chains react. "My ability is the spirit of water," Soo-bin declares, empowered by the storm and sea. Purium sweats as Soo-bin explains his water spirit is now at its absolute peak. With chilling intensity, Soo-bin warns, "I don't think I can hold back. You could die." Purium merely smirks, unfazed by the dire warning. He dramatically tosses his umbrella aside, embracing the downpour. "Bullshit," Purium scoffs, chains flaring. "Who was the one that started this?" Soo-bin sighs, his water spirit still glowing. "I guess I have no choice then." Purium looks on, puzzled, as the water spirit transforms into a larger, star-like shape. Soo-bin unleashes a massive torrent of water, rushing towards a stunned Purium. Soo-bin grits his teeth, unleashing the full force of his water spirit. Purium watches the incoming torrent, a silent, escaping him. Soo-bin pushes harder, sweat flying as he channels his immense power. Purium reacts, a glowing chain materializing around his hand to meet the attack. The massive water blast slams into Purium, who braces himself with his chain defenses. Purium stares defiantly through the deluge, water crashing against his barrier. Impressive, Purium acknowledges Soo-bin's powerful assault. He then comments to a surprised Soo-bin for an F rank, "You're not too bad." Purium reveals to glowing, square artifacts, stating, "But it's weaker than a real chain." Soo-bin looks stunned, exclaiming, "There's more than one spirit." Purium mocks, "With that chain, you won't be able to do anything." As Soo-bin struggles with his spirits, Soo-bin's star-shaped water spirits crackle with intense energy, showing his strain. A close-up reveals Soo-bin's wide, desperate eyes, realizing the power gap. Purium is sent flying by a powerful blast, while Soo-bin is also pushed back by the recoil. Soo-bin, teeth gritted, conjures another swirling vortex of water around his hand. One of Soo-bin's water spirits glows brightly as he thinks, "This again?" Water projectiles erupt around Soo-bin, as Purium taunts, "Is that the only tactic you know?" Soo-bin calmly states, "Haven't you noticed? I haven't taken a single step from this spot." A chilling question hangs in the air. "Now you get it, don't you?" Purium, panting heavily amidst his chains, declares, "You don't belong in the holy city." Purium, soaked in panting, questions, "This whole time, you haven't moved a single step." Soo-bin smirks, a chain glowing around his fist. "I guess that's why you didn't notice." Purium looks down, stunned, as glowing chains are revealed wrapped around Soo-bin's ankles. The chains extend upwards from Soo-bin, anchoring him, as Purium watches in disbelief. Purium recoils in fury, a chain whipping past him, exclaiming, "This bastard again." Soo-bin, with intense focus, unleashes a brilliant blue energy surge from his anchored position. The powerful blast sends Purium hurtling backwards through the air. Subin, straining, shouts, "Why do I keep using the same tactic?" With gritted teeth, Subin fiercely thinks, "Because this is the only thing I know how to do." You bastard. The chapter concludes with a credits page for the island where stars and chains rise by quantum scans. Subin, panting, taunts the fallen Purium, "You've been acting all cocky for a while now." Purium, struggling on the ground, retorts that Subin's rank can't be that high either. Subin smirks, "Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the ground, beaten by an F rank like me." Purium grits his teeth, rain pouring over his frustrated face. "Alright, I get it." Purium concedes as a new, diamond-shaped spirit materializes. Multiple diamond spirits flare around Purium, who declares, "From now on, I'll get serious." Subin, chain still active, looks on in genuine surprise, "Huh?" Elsewhere, a different character with a headband screams, "Oh, what the hell is this?" That's totally up. A status screen reveals an SSS summoner class with impressive stats. The boy with glasses nervously explains his incredible gacha pull to his astonished friends. Back with the others, a blue-haired girl in pajamas curiously asks, "Hey, what's this?" The boy with glasses explains it's a board game designed specifically for ability users. He elaborates that the game analyzes their abilities to create matching characters, then tells Purium it's his turn. Purium confidently presses a glowing button, telling them to watch carefully. A system message pops up. Player for S abilities are being analyzed as the button glows intensely. The game reveals Purium's B-rank Mage Knight character, much to the blue-haired girl's surprise. She realizes the game console is for training. As the boy mentions, such games are common for ability users. Now understanding, the blue-haired girl accepts a game piece ready to try. She holds the small disc-like game piece in her palm, observed by the others. Confused, she asks, "Why isn't mine lighting up like the others?" As the boy looks on, puzzled, the blonde boy wonders aloud, "What's going on? I've never seen this happen before." As another speculates her energy is too weak. A stark red system message flashes, unable to analyze Player 6's abilities. Suddenly, the system announces for the blue-haired girl, Player 5 is. As her game piece remains inert, the game then declares her designation, a returnee. The blue-haired girl stares in disbelief, while the others collectively gasp, "What?" Another system message appears, a hidden class will be randomly assigned. One friend exclaims, "A hidden class? So lucky." But another corrects, "Forget that, a returnee." The blonde boy stares intently at the blue-haired girl, demanding, "Hey, you, is this for real?" She looks flustered, inking, if possible, a worried expression on her face. A memory surfaces of Subin advising, "You should keep the fact that your returnee a secret." The blue-haired girl, recalling Subin's advice, asks aloud, "Huh? Why?" Subin's voice explains in her memory. "Returnees usually bring back a lot of problems from the other world." He continues, "Just like you, who lost 12 years of your life." As a past scene of them in a port appears, Subin's profile is shown as he elaborates, "That's why many returnees struggle to readjust and end up becoming criminals." His warning persists over an image of an ability sealing device. On top of that, returnees aren't affected by ability sealing tools. A flashback shows a powerful returnee as Subin adds, and many have S-rank powers. A returnee turned criminal is a walking natural disaster. Subin's solemn face appears. Because of that, society doesn't view returnees very favorably. If people find out, back in the present, her friends stare intently as Subin's voice concludes. "They might view you with suspicion," and she thinks, "Oh, so that's underscore." A bead of sweat rolls down her face as she nervously thinks, Suddenly, the blonde boy leans in, excitedly demanding, "Tell us some stories." The blue-haired girl looks surprised by the blonde boy's sudden enthusiasm. He eagerly asks, "If you're a returnee, that means you went to another world, right? I want to hear about what happened there." The others chime in, "Yeah, me too." As the system announces, hidden class Dragon Slayer character has been created. She nervously asks, "Are you okay with this?" "I'm a returnee, isn't that weird?" Her game piece now glowing. One friend, munching on a snack, casually replies, I don't really care about that." A wave of relief washes over the blue-haired girl's face, a small smile appearing. "Oh, really?" she asks, looking down, as the blonde boy reassures her, "Yeah, it's fine." He adds, "But I'm just curious too," as her eyes widen slightly. Another friend chimes in, "Returnees usually defeat demon lords or something in another world, right?" The boy with glasses then bluntly asks, "Then, have you ever killed a person?" As she holds her glowing character piece, her eyes widen in shock, a dark aura blooming behind her as she utters, "What?" The scene cuts to a desolate, rain-swept basketball court. Rain drips from a defeated hand, fingers splayed on the wet ground. Purium stands defeated, his diamond spirit still glowing faintly in the downpour. Subin observes him, stating, "How unfortunate. You have both the technical and strategic advantage, but..." He towers over the fallen Purium, concluding, "You're the one lying on the ground." Purium glares up from the pavement, retorting, "There's no need to feel torn up about it." Subin coldly declares, "Strength gained through grueling effort is always weaker than power obtained with ease." The boy with glasses looks somber as a voice reflects, "Some people lose their dreams due to low rank." The blue-haired girl and blonde boy appear as the thought continues, while others with sudden power seize desired opportunities. Subin continues his harsh lesson: power, family, money, it's all the same, limiting willpower. He warns Purium of confronting stronger, more terrible people at school. A smug pink-haired girl appearing. Looking down at Purium, Subin declares that school will only bring him pain. Rain and sweat mix on Purium's face as he clenches his jaw in frustration. Defiant, Purium begins to speak, "My father," as Subin listens. He reveals his father wasn't an S rank, nor even an A rank ability user. Yet Purium explains his father accomplished more than any A rank hunter, conquering countless dungeons. With fierce pride, he states his father saved innumerable lives. Purium passionately shouts that such achievements were only possible through his father's own relentless effort. He glares up, challenging Subin. "How can you know if an F rank like me will fall behind?" Subin, with a determined look, says, "That's right, since you know your father's achievements so well." He then coldly asks Purium, "Then you must also know about the S rank gate that opened in Mapo district 7 years ago." Purium's eyes narrow, a bead of sweat rolling down his face as he asks, "You suddenly?" He demands, "Why are you suddenly bringing that up?" As Subin explains, many casualties occurred during that dungeon break. Purium shouts, "So what?" As Subin reveals some were tragically killed by a certain hunter. A flashback shows a chaotic scene as Purium yells, "Right now, no one's critical of what happened back then." Subin's face contorts in anger, teeth gritted. Purium's father appears in a memory as Purium insists, "Back then, there were special circumstances." Subin cuts him off, roaring in anguish, "My sister died there." He glares, his voice filled with fury, "There by your father's hand." Subin, rain and sweat mixing on his face, looks utterly devastated by his own words. Purium stares back, completely stunned, uttering a disbelieving, "What?" Subin, now enraged, points accusingly, "Special circumstances? Are you going to say saving everyone was impossible?" His face contorts in a furious shout, "Sacrificing the few for the many. Is that how hunters justify their actions?" Subin gestures wildly, "Hunters weren't they supposed to protect everyone?" Purium's eye widens, sweat dripping, as the harsh accusations sink in. Subin, his voice trembling with emotion, asks, "Let me ask you one thing, Ki-sung Hyen." His golden eyes, filled with pain and anger, glare intensely. "Is that your mindset?" Subin continues to press, "By going that far, what kind of hunter are you trying to become?" Purium grits his teeth, his face a mask of anguish and internal conflict. The rain continues as Purium and Subin face each other, the weight of their conflict hanging heavy. Transitioning back, the focus shifts to the back of the glasses-wearing boy's head in the room. The blue-haired girl's dark, shocked silhouette looms as the previous question echoes. The scene returns fully to the room, where the smug pink-haired girl bluntly asks, "Then, have you ever killed a person?" The blue-haired girl's eyes widen in disbelief, while the boy with glasses exclaims, "What?" Flustered, she begins to stammer, clearly caught off guard by the intense question. Suddenly, with a panicked expression, she shouts, "I need to go to the bathroom." She stands abruptly, her friends all looking up at her sudden outburst. Her face is a mixture of embarrassment and urgency as she clutches her chest. With a clatter, she spins around and dashes away, leaving her friends surprised. Shinmiyu laughs, asking, "What's with her?" As the boy with glasses looks on, stunned. "She's funny, that one," Miyu remarks. Before the boy questions why she suddenly brought up such a topic, Miyu apologizes with a smile. "Sorry. I guess it was a bit creepy, huh?" As he asks if the girl is in magical engineering. The blonde boy clarifies, "No, she's in the hunter department," shocking the glasses wearer. With a knowing smirk, Miyu predicts, "She won't last long then." She turns, lecturing, "Being a hunter isn't just about hunting, you know?" As Purium's defeated form flashes, Miyu continues, "It's about killing. Sometimes, you have to kill another person." Miyu confidently holds up a snack, asking, "That's the resolve everyone came here with, right?" Another student with short brown hair looks on with wide, uncertain eyes, holding her drink. The blue-haired girl pants, rushing up the stairs, as Miyu's voiceover wonders if she can handle the school's demands. The blue-haired girl, sweating and distressed, questions her own actions. Why did I run away? She leans against a wall, regretting not simply stating, I've never killed anyone. A painful memory surfaces, a younger, injured version of herself, causing her chest to tighten. She feels isolated, surrounded by shadowy figures and blood splatters, as if she doesn't belong. An ethereal, smiling figure named Shin appears in her thoughts. Startled, she wonders if she can make new friends as someone approaches from behind. The girl with short brown hair from earlier greets her with a friendly hi. The friendly girl introduces herself as Mo Dan, and the blue-haired girl stammers, I am Ki So Hyun. Mo Dan kindly asks if So Hyun is okay to continue the game, but So Hyun seems hesitant. Mo Dan expresses excitement about seeing a hidden class, but So Hyun apologetically declines to show hers. So Hyun clutches her pajamas, admitting, I thought I'd be okay here, but now I'm not sure. Mo Dan looks back with wide, troubled eyes, confessing, when I think back to that moment, I get scared. Facing So Hyun, Mo Dan reveals with a heavy heart, I almost killed someone too. So Hyun gasps, huh? As Mo Dan explains she awakened her abilities late, in high school. A flashback shows a classroom in disarray, splattered with red. As Mo Dan recounts her uncontrolled awakenings seriously injured her friends. So Hyun stares, utterly shocked and speechless by Mo Dan's dramatic confession. Mo Dan clenches her fist, declaring with newfound resolve, but I still believe I can do well. Feeling torn up over it won't change anything. Looking at a thoughtful So Hyun, Mo Dan advises, next time, just try not to let it happen again. So Hyun looks up, a starry expanse appearing behind her as she softly calls out, Hey Shin. An ethereal, light-haired figure, Shin, appears amidst a glowing, dreamlike forest. So Hyun, in a dreamscape, asks Shin, wasn't there a crying rock here? How did you move it? Shin, the spirit, clarifies, I didn't. I just talked to it as a chibi. So Hyun looks on, puzzled. A flashback reveals Shin before a colossal rock, waterfalls cascading from it like tears. Shin explains, when the rock spoke of its sadness, as the waterfall tears flow. I shared the burden of that sorrow with it, Shin recalls with gentle eyes. Shin brightly adds, after that, it cheered up and went somewhere else as So Hyun listens. So Hyun watches the now calm rock roll away, leaving a path in the snow. As the rock nears distant clouds, Shin narrates, rocks, clouds, people. Shin with multiple arms and So Hyun wave, Shin concluding, they all shed tears the same way. Back in reality, So Hyun considers Shin's words, that's why they can all be friends. As Mo Dan watches, So Hyun smiles gently, affirming Shin's wisdom, that's right. Mo Dan beams in agreement, see, that's how it should be. Taking So Hyun's hand, Mo Dan declares, all right, I'll clear it up with the others. So let's go back. A sudden splash of water erupts beside them, startling Mo Dan, who exclaims, huh? The scene shifts to an outdoor basketball court, still being drenched by the relentless rain. Peeking out, So Hyun and Mo Dan overhear a tense voice mention the S-Rank gate in Mapo District 7 years ago. So Hyun looks concerned while Mo Dan, eyes wide with alarm, asks what's going on. The blue-haired boy, Seung-yeon, insists vehemently right now. No one's critical of what happened back then. His face contorts in anguish as he grits out, back then, there were special circumstances. Seung-yeon whirls to face Subin in the downpour, roaring, my sister died there. Seung-yeon screams in the rain, there. By your father's hand. So Hyun stares, utterly bewildered by the accusation. Peeking out, So Hyun whispers, what are they saying? I can't hear well. Her mind races, connecting the dots, my dad, 7 years ago. As Subin stands soaked, So Hyun wonders, he killed Subin's sister. Before Subin speaks, Subin then challenges Seung-yeon. What kind of hunter are you aspiring to become? Seung-yeon stands alone in the darkness, head hanging low. Subin presses further. You said you wanted to be a hunter who saves everyone, right? Facing Subin, Seung-yeon admits, I've never thought about what kind of hunter I'll become. He then reveals, I'm here because of a purely personal admiration. Subin continues, stating, it's not just me, it's probably the same for many people on the ship. As So Hyun listens intently, Subin explains some came simply hoping to make a few friends. Harsh memories flash, cruel words, rejection, and a bandaged youth, as Subin says. But no matter how trivial the goal, a flashback shows an injured, screaming figure, emphasizing the person in question takes that goal seriously. Seung-yeon looks on, sweat beating, as Subin declares, there's no superiority or inferiority in that. Seung-yeon, with a serious gaze, tells Subin, I'm the same as you. Subin grits his teeth, a determined glint in his eye, uttering, you and I. Crystalline stars materialize round Subin's clenched fist as his power surges. Subin explodes, roaring at a stunned Seung-yeon are nothing alike. So Hyun gasps Sung-yeon's name in shock while Mo-dan looks utterly bewildered by the sudden outburst. Subin's fist connects, sending Seung-yeon reeling amidst a shower of icy stars. Seung-yeon, stunned, grits his teeth in disbelief at the sudden attack. Subin glares with cold fury, rain dripping from his determined face. The force of the blow sends Seung-yeon skidding across the wet basketball court. Seung-yeon coughs violently, eyes wide with shock and pain from the impact. A crystalline star glows intensely as Subin prepares another devastating move. Subin yanks a bewildered Seung-yeon closer, their faces inches apart. Blue energy crackles violently around Subin as Seung-yeon braces himself. Subin unleashes a powerful blast, engulfing Seung-yeon in a blinding light. So Hyun and Mo-dan watch in horrified silence as the intense fight unfolds. A colossal beam of energy erupts from the ship, piercing the stormy sky. Seung-yeon, caught in the aftermath, stares wide-eyed and breathless. He stumbles back, a shocked exclamation escaping his lips. Subin, relentless, smashes a crystalline shard against Sung-yeon's head. As Seung-yeon collapses, Subin clutches his own head, muttering, "UGH, my head." Subin stares at his hand in confusion as his crystalline power begins to fade. He gasps, the spirits are disappearing as Seung-yeon charges back. Seung-yeon delivers a brutal counterpunch, sending Subin reeling. Subin's eyes widen in disbelief, a dawning realization hitting him. Is this? His gaze fixes on a glowing device on his wrist, a power-sealing tool. Subin reels, realizing Seung-yeon planted the device mid-clash. A flashback reveals Sung-yeon's sister admitting she borrowed such items from their dad. Subin crashes backward as Seung-yeon pants, cursing his drained state. Wiping blood, Seung-yeon smirks. Still, I managed to land a blow. Subin lies momentarily stunned, eyes shut from the unexpected turn. But Subin staggers up, fury reigniting as Seung-yeon watches warily. So, Hyun and Mo-dan observe the brutal exchange. Mo-dan panicking. What should I do? So, Hyun recalls Subin's earlier words about the sincerity of one's goals. Mo-dan turns to So Hyun, utterly confused, asking, "What's going on?" Seung-yeon, echoing Subin's own philosophy, lands another fierce punch. Sung-yeon's fist smashes into Subin, echoing, "There's no superiority or inferiority in that." Subin reels from the blow, Sung-yeon's words on the same as you hanging in the air. Subin's hand trembles as he contemplates Sung-yeon's claim, the same. Bloodied and furious, Subin screams internally, "As me?" A memory surfaces, shimmering, terror-like drops against a stark background. Flashback to a younger Subin, adrift amidst glowing crystals and dark, rocky fragments. The young Subin sits alone in a vast wasteland of rubble, a ruined city silhouetted behind him. His younger self looks down, a profound sadness in his eyes. The desolate cityscape a stark backdrop. The boy stares out at an endless expanse of debris and fallen figures, his eye wide with a chilling memory. The vision shifts to a desolate, frozen landscape, reflecting the cold emptiness of his past. Subin's traumatic past begins that day, amidst shattered, icy remnants. He recalls, "I ran endlessly across the ruins, a lone child against a devastated cityscape." Young Subin cried out, "Why did this happen to me? What kind of causality threw me into this hell?" He questioned the indifferent stars as the ground was ceaselessly soaking up blood. Even then, a tiny, defiant fist clenched amidst the despair and distant starlight. The flashback shows young Subin collapsing, overwhelmed by the endless destruction. Tears streamed as he struggled to rise, pushing himself up from the cold, hard rubble. A desperate question formed in his young mind. Why didn't anyone? His tear-filled eyes reflected utter desolation and a plea for help. "Help me up and out of this tragedy." As figures passed by, ignoring his plight, young Subin cried out, "Why? You guys are hunters," as they walked away. His younger self declared with fierce resolve, "Then I'll do it instead." A vision of his older self knelt, vowing, "For people like you, I'll become a hunter who saves everyone." The vow continued, echoing his deepest desire, "I won't leave anyone here alone." The memory fades as Sung-yeon's words, "I'm the same as you," haunt present-day Subin. A stark, defiant no flashes across the screen, rejecting the comparison. Subin turns his back on Sung-yeon's group, asserting, "I'm different from you." He confronts them, with such unfair power, only use it for selfish gains. Subin faces Seung-yeon, a challenge in his voice. "You guys can do it, can't you?" He grabs Sung-yeon's arm, demanding fiercely, "Be a little more serious." Seung-yeon, though battered, meets Subin's intense gaze with quiet resolve. He admits, "I don't know about hunter responsibilities or you." But Subin's eye widens slightly as Seung-yeon asks, "Isn't that something we can learn from now on?" Seung-yeon reveals, "That's why I came to school in the first place." A younger self shone with an adult. Suddenly, Subin bows deeply before Seung-yeon, a profound gesture under a looming structure. Both Seung-yeon and Subin turn sharply, startled by an unforeseen development. A hand firmly grips a glowing, futuristic pistol, wisps of energy curling from its barrel. A shadowy figure raises the weapon, aiming it as Seung-yeon and Subin watch in disbelief. Seung-yeon stares, bewildered, asking, "Who is that?" at the enigmatic gunman. A quick flashback shows a few seconds ago, Subin launching an attack on Seung-yeon. Onlookers Purium and Mo Dan cry out, "Oh! What do we do?" as the fight rages. Purium anxiously asks a boy with glasses, "What's going on?" The boy, shocked by the scene, exclaims Purium, in alarm. He questions the fierce battle, Mo Dan explaining it erupted suddenly. The boy shouts at the combatants, "What are you doing on the boat?" While Purium sends Mo Dan for help. He despairs, "I don't think they can hear, someone's going to get hurt." Purium gasps, witnessing a particularly violent blow and with explosive force. She resolves, "We have to stop them." But the boy urgently cries, "No." He challenges her, "How are you going to stop them?" Purium insists, "We need to separate them." The boy warns gravely, "Never interfere with ability users, it's like jumping into a gunfight." Purium recoils, imagining a tense standoff with Seung-yeon and Subin. Her wild thought continues, a gun confiscation plan with her and the boy disarming them. The boy with glasses shouts, "Then just take the guns away," then immediately retracts, and no, absolutely not. He peers through a fence, worried, but still, if we leave them like this. His concern deepens. If that water blast from earlier breaks the deck, it'll be a real disaster. A close-up on his eye reveals a flicker of resolve through his glasses. He decisively reaches into his satchel, a plan forming. "All right, stay here," he tells Purium, who anxiously questions his intentions. A hand firmly grips a glowing, futuristic blue pistol, its design intricate. The boy, now holding the weapon, declares, "I have no choice but to use the magic tool." Purium gasps, her wild imagination showing the boy disarming Seung-yeon and Subin. Back in reality, Seung-yeon and Subin pant heavily, separated by the chain-link fence. Their intense, battered faces show surprise as a new presence makes itself known. The boy with glasses stands over one of them, blue pistol raised. "You're finally looking this way." He scolds them furiously. "What are you guys doing? You ignored my calls and started fighting." Subin stammers, "That's not a bell, right?" While Seung-yeon curses, "SHT, that's a gun." The boy continues his tirade. "What if you damage the ship or hurt other kids?" Subin and Seung-yeon look down, clearly chastened by his very valid points. He sighs, exasperated, "Why are there so many troublemakers around me?" As Mo Dan peeks from behind. The boy turns, surprised by Mo Dan, exclaiming in frustration, "Seriously, son Purium." The boy with glasses scolds them, "No matter if it was for research. Magic tools are banned on campus." He grins menacingly, declaring, "All three of you are expected to be disciplined." Seung-yeon sweats, muttering, "Oh, we're screwed." The scene shifts to their cruise ship now docked peacefully at a sunny port. A blonde-haired boy from Seung-yeon's group looks downcast, admitting, "I lost." He laments, "Even I, the great me, never got disciplined before the semester even started." Now on land with their luggage, he sarcastically tells the boy with glasses, "To think I beat you with something like this. I'm so honored. I feel like dropping out immediately." The boy with glasses apologizes to Subin, who replies, "No, it's fine. I used a magic tool too, so that's on me." He explains a professor asked him to bring the item, hoping for leniency. As Seung-yeon wonders if the professors are also unhinged. The boy with glasses turns to Seung-yeon and Purium, stating, "The real issue is you guys. Whatever decision they make, it's going to be a hassle." The boy with glasses tells Purium, "Anyway, go to the dorms you were assigned." But she asks, "Aren't you going to the dorms?" He replies, "We probably have different dorms from you," leading Purium to exclaim, "What?" Seung-yeon chimes in, "Seongan doesn't just have one dorm," explaining, "Big and small dorms are scattered all around the island." A map displays numerous dorm locations across the island as Purium utters an understanding Otilde. Purium sweats, nervously thinking, "Hopefully we're not placed in the same dorm as that person." As an image of a smirking girl appears, Seung-yeon checks his phone, announcing, "Let's see, the name of the dorm we're heading to is Angsekwon. Suddenly, a blue suitcase topples over with a thud, catching Seung-yeon and Purium's attention. The white-haired boy, looking surprised, has tripped over Purium's luggage. A close-up shows the white-haired boy's hand still clutching his phone. He stares wide-eyed and flustered, a bandage prominent on his cheek. Seung-yeon stares, a bandage on his cheek, clearly unamused by this turn of events. He closes his eyes in disbelief, muttering, "Hey, are you kidding me?" Facing the white-haired boy, Seung-yeon asks incredulously, "So you're the ones assigned to our dorm?" The two stand side by side, their luggage confirming they're indeed grouped together. A woman in a tracksuit leans casually against a red sports car. "Nice to meet you. I'm Eno-yeon, the dorm's supervisor." The new students, including a cheerful Mo Dan, greet her. Eno-yeon exclaims, "All right, some cute kids have arrived." Purium sweats, relieved. "Thankfully, it looks like we're not in the same dorm as that person," as Mo Dan flatters the supervisor. Suddenly, the very girl Purium dreaded pops up. "We're in the same dorm. Let's get along well." Leaving Purium stunned. As Eno-yeon offers a ride, Purium, now beside her new friend, inks brightly, "Plus, I already made a friend." Purium beams with excitement, declaring internally, the semester's off to a good start, while Seung-yeon and Subin look less thrilled. The story flashes back, about 100 years ago. It was a chaotic era where monsters devoured people and evil ability users rampaged. In a traditional village, one man, seen from behind, suddenly had a thought. A close-up reveals his determined profile. "We need to create an educational institution for ability users." Years later, avoiding Japanese occupation, he secretly built a school on a small island. That school would later be known as Seongan Ability School, aka the Hunter School. An aerial view of a quaint school town shows that nationality, age, or qualifications don't matter. Only ability grants entry. A map highlights its remote southern island location, seeming like a countryside school. But this school is special. The entire island, the size of Ganghwa Island, is the campus. It boasts high-quality training tools, diverse grounds, a vast information network, and city-level infrastructure. This massive scale makes it all possible, a sanctuary every aspiring hunter dreams of. However, amidst this grandeur, a new story begins at a quaint building. A girl with striking blue hair entered, oblivious to the school's prestigious reputation. She's just arrived, proudly tying her hair, ready for what's next. Suddenly, a voice calls out, "Nana," startling her. A blue-haired boy urges her, "Hurry up, or you'll be late for the entrance ceremony." Nana, at her vanity, smiles. "First year, first semester. I'm coming," marks the beginning. It's entrance ceremony day, the sun shining brightly on the school building. The blue-haired boy waits outside, phone in hand. "You're finally here." He then asks Nana, "Hey, I don't see the other one," leaving her puzzled. Nana explains Subin is busy preparing for the ceremony, puzzling the blue-haired boy. The brown-haired girl chimes in, "Of course, he has things to do." It's then revealed, Subin is the freshman representative this year. On stage, Subin stands at a podium, book in hand, beginning his speech with, "I pledge." He vows to abide by school rules, as someone in the audience scoffs at the irony. Seung-yeon, labeled discipline guy 2, watches, thinking Subin talks big for someone already disciplined. A close-up on Seung-yeon's eyes reveals a deeper thought dawning on him. He realizes being freshman representative means Subin is the top admitted student. Seung-yeon recalls the powerful water cannon from the ship, its output nearing a class. He reflects on their fight, wondering what might have happened if Subin hadn't held back or if he hadn't been prepared. Seung-yeon grimly admits, "It would have been me lying there at the end." Subin, now officially the freshman representative, aims to join the student council as his dad wished. A determined Seung-yeon vows, "I must survive among these people." His face hardens with steely resolve, understanding the challenge ahead. He thinks, now's not the time to be happy about getting admitted, as Nana sparkles obliviously nearby. Nana, however, eagerly anticipates classes, expecting to learn really interesting things at Hunter School. Suddenly, a girl in a tracksuit approaches, telling Nana, "So-hyun, you need to go back to the dormitory." Nana looks bewildered, asking, "What?" As the tracksuit girl questions if she saw her schedule, her blue-haired companion reveals, "You came here without finishing elementary school, sis. So, your schedule is different." The tracksuit girl cheerfully explains So-hyun will study for an equivalency exam with her. During morning classes, Nana stares blankly, asking, what's an equivalency exam?" As the tracksuit girl ponders her explanation, the tracksuit girl cheerfully lists subjects: Korean, math, English, social studies, science, Korean history, and such. Nana erupts, screaming, "I hate it," her face a mask of pure academic dread. Her brother calmly asks the tracksuit girl, "Please take good care of my sister," while Nana protests from the car. As the car drives off, he waves, muttering, "I'm starting to hate my sister, too." As Nana's "I hate you" echoes, the scene shifts to a sunlit school building, where regular classes are about to begin. Inside Ginkgo Hall, Students are already seated, focused on their desks. The blue-haired boy examines his paper. The subject name is Hunter Ethics. If it's ethics, what will we learn? A classmate wonders why the professor is late, but another student coolly advises they'll come in right at the exact time. The clock strikes the hour, and with a loud bang, the classroom door flies open. A figure dramatically entering. The blue-haired boy and a classmate turn, startled by the dramatic entrance. A close-up reveals the newcomer arrived on a sleek, self-balancing unicycle. The brown-haired girl stares, equally taken aback by the professor's arrival. Even Seung-yeon looks surprised, a bead of sweat forming as he watches. An imposing figure in a dark suit and long coat glides into the room on the unicycle. His shadowed face and intense gaze command the classroom's attention. He stylishly dismounts, the unicycle sparking as his foot hits the ground. Facing the students, he greets them in Japanese, "Nice to meet you." He introduces himself with a stern profile. "I am Hagawara Jin. Welcome to my class." Hagawara Jin begins his lecture. "First, let me say one thing," as students listen intently. Hagawara Jin, with a disdainful sneer, declares, "I hate this school." He elaborates, criticizing the inefficiency of standardized education in most institutions. This is particularly true for ability users, he notes, as a blonde student naps, exemplifying unique personalities. Or he continues, they have their own stubborn principles, glancing towards a stoic Seung-yeon. Hagawara Jin reveals his own priority, efficient work processing above all else. As he moves across the room, yes, he affirms, then poses a question about efficiency while still on his unicycle. He states, most monsters could be easily handled with modern military power. Yet only hunters are sent into dungeons to catch monsters, he points out. With a piercing look, Hagawara Jin demands of the class, "Why is that?" The students exchange puzzled glances, clearly stumped by his challenging question. Hagawara Jin dramatically reveals the answer, because it's much more economical. He explains guns and tanks are expensive, their cost outweighing dungeon profits. By comparison, ability users, even with basic needs, are incredibly cost-effective. With a sharp gesture, he concludes, that's how the profession of hunter came to be. It's all about money. Seung-yeon listens intently as Hagawara clarifies this is why they're not called superheroes. Hagawara elaborates that for hunters, physical and mental energy are also crucial cost. He warns against wasting energy, calling death by exhaustion in battle utterly foolish. The core concept is emphasized in a stark speech bubble. In other words, judgment. Hagawara Jin asserts, this is the number one quality a hunter must have. He then points directly at the blue-haired boy, demanding, "You there, student in front. Tell me what your ability category is." The startled student stammers, "I'm a construction sorcerer." As a classmate echoes the unusual title, Hagawara Jin immediately quizzes him, "Then do you know the range of your ability?" To which the boy replies, "About 100 meters maximum." The professor presses further, "Can you decompose compounds?" But the student admits, "I haven't tried." Hagawara bombards him with specifics, weight limits, manipulation speed, material commonalities, leaving the boy speechless. With glowing red eyes, Hagawara leans in, declaring, "This means failure." He lectures, "Know yourself and your enemy," then scorns the student's lack of self-awareness. "How can you assess others or strategize?" Hagawara challenges, as Nana's brother watches, visibly nervous. A chilling close-up reveals Hagawara's piercing, red glowing eye. Hagawara then shifts his focus, pointing directly at Nana's brother. "Now, you there, curly-haired boy." The blue-haired boy, taken aback, asks me, as Hagawara demands, "Yes, tell me your category." Hagawara presses, "Why aren't you talking?" his patience clearly wearing thin. Seung-yeon hesitates, sweat dripping as he stammers, "I." He finally admits to the entire class, "I don't know about such things." The professor's hand clenches tightly, his irritation visibly growing. Hagawara stares, his expression a mix of disbelief and fury at Seung-yeon's ignorance. After class, students file out into the hallway, Seung-yeon looking dejected. A white-haired classmate suddenly calls out from behind, "Hey, Ki Seung-yeon." He confronts Seung-yeon, exclaiming, "Are you crazy?" To which Seung-yeon confusedly replies, "What? What do you mean you don't know your category?" The classmate demands, "Why cause trouble on the first day?" Seung-yeon explains earnestly, "I heard terms like category and construction sorcerer for the very first time. I didn't know. So I said I didn't know." The white-haired classmate stares in disbelief. "What? Hey, you. Don't tell me." Seung-yeon looks away, confused, as the classmate presses, "You don't know anything." Annoyed, the classmate snaps, "Figure it out yourself," leaving Seung-yeon stunned. Seung-yeon stands awkwardly in the hallway, rubbing his neck as others pass. As students walk off, Seung-yeon senses something is off, thinking, something. A stark white panel reveals his inner monologue. At that time, I didn't realize. Standing in the bustling hall, Seung-yeon feels uneasy. Something strange. Another white panel continues his thought. What consequences will my actions bring? Suddenly, a staff member at a computer calls out, "Oh, student Ki Seung-yeon tilde." Seung-yeon approaches the desk as the staff member asks, "What's going on?" "I'm busy right now." While Seung-yeon begins, "Professor, about that." The staff member asks Seung-yeon, "You already can't keep up." Seung-yeon admits, "Yes," adding that other students seem to have studied ahead. He mentions looking at internet sources and books, to which the staff member scoffs. "Internet and books?" The staff member then probes, "Do you at least have an ability user license?" Leaving Seung-yeon baffled. When Seung-yeon confesses, "Not yet," the staff member erupts, grabbing him and demanding, "Why haven't you gotten it? Even as an ability user, it's a must." The staff member yells as Seung-yeon stammers, "I couldn't get it." Seung-yeon reveals, "Minors can't get one without parental consent," shocking the staff member. The staff member realizes Seung-yeon's father actively prevented his children from becoming hunters, even blocking their licenses. He then asks, "But your sister is a returnee, so she must have a license, right?" The scene cuts to Nana, who innocently asks, "License? What's that?" Nana innocently tells Professor Chai Ji-hyung, "That's what she said," referring to her ignorance about licenses. The staff member shows Seung-yeon something alarming on his phone, which suddenly sparks. "No, it's too late." The staff member grabs Seung-yeon. "I can guarantee your screwedness." He demands, "How have you been training without knowing anything?" Seung-yeon mentions physical training with Ju-young. Seung-yeon adds Ju-young found it hard to explain his ability, but the staff member shouts, "That's not because he didn't want to tell you. It's because he couldn't tell you." The staff member reveals, leaving Seung-yeon stunned and questioning, "He couldn't tell me." The staff member explains that ability users, upon receiving their license, automatically enter a certain covenant, symbolized by a glowing scroll. This covenant strictly prevents them from revealing information about abilities to non-licensees, shocking Seung-yeon. He describes it as a massive, unbreakable chain, tightly linked by the energy of all license holders. That's why information online is just the tip of the iceberg, or false. The staff member clarifies as Seung-yeon wonders, why do they control it so strictly? The staff member continues, as these abilities are dangerous by nature, his expression serious. He explains even weak users can kill. Unlike guns, abilities are unseen and unremovable. Seung-yeon clutches his head, "Arc, so that's why he only made me do physical training." As the staff warns of societal collapse, the staff member stares, a look of dawning realization, muttering, "This is crazy." "Amazing," the staff member thinks, recalling his reasons for recommending Seung-yeon. It wasn't just Seung-yeon's rare ability, but also his well-trained instincts. As an image of his intense training flashes, to have come this far under such unfavorable conditions, the staff member muses. Looking at the worn-out Seung-yeon, smirking, he praises his own eye for talent, then offers good news. Seonggan students get equivalent license qualifications. "Take this," the staff member says, holding out a small glowing blue cube to his surprised Seung-yeon, who asks, "What's this now?" Seung-yeon examines the blue cube, told it grants access to a secret network for ability users with advanced information. The staff member promises to send Seung-yeon organized study sites, to which Seung-yeon reluctantly agrees. "Oh," and the staff member adds sternly, "Don't let anyone know that you don't know anything." He explains Seonggan's elitism, then asks if Seung-yeon aims to be a student council member. Seung-yeon sweats, remembering the judging eyes of his classmates during his earlier blunder. "I'll be careful," Seung-yeon mutters, as the scene transitions to a sunlit building exterior. Elsewhere, Nana examines a similar, but pink, glowing cube with a curious HMM. "Can I play games on this too?" Nana asks Professor Chai, who laughs and suggests she try pressing it. Nana taps the pink cube, asking, "Like this?" As it begins to react, the cube flares with light, expanding into a glowing, holographic rectangular prism. A digital display materializes above the activated cube. Student Ki So-hyun confirmed. Nana gasps "Whoa," as the cube projects a loading interface above her. Professor Chai explains, "Now you can ask it anything you're curious about." As Nana wonders if it's that simple, the cube's interface responds, "That's correct. Please speak," and Nana exclaims, "Ho. You can talk too." Nana turns to Professor Chai, a serious question forming. Then, Professor Chai brings up the S-Class gate in Mapogu from 7 years ago, triggering a memory of a younger, frightened Nana. With determined eyes, Nana directly asks the cube, "What happened in Mapo District 7 years ago?" Professor Chai looks startled as the cube's interface declares, "Your keywords are ambiguous. The cue prompts, "What kind of incident are you looking for?" Nana clarifies, "An incident related to my father, where people died." "No, not that." Professor Chai quickly intervenes, grabbing Nana's head. "Let's first check out the school community." Professor Chai suggests, "Let's see what your friends usually talk about," leaving Nana puzzled. AY. Professor Chai navigates Nana to Seongan School's online free board. A flurry of typical student posts floods the screen: lunch plans, love confessions, and random thoughts. One anonymous post simply asks, "Anyone want to eat lunch together today?" Nana looks bewildered at a post asking about a cat near the spruce building. "It's too normal," Nana observes, as Professor Chai remarks that all student boards are similar. Suddenly, a new topic pops up. "Anyone take the Hunter Theory class today?" Nana's eyes widen as a comment appears. "Heard in the hallway, it's Ki Seung-yeon." The next message is a harsh critique. He didn't even know his own category. How did he get admitted? A bead of sweat rolls down Nana's face, her eye wide with shock at the online gossip. Nana is bombarded by more scathing comments questioning Seung-yeon's qualifications, and even suggesting corruption. Seung-yeon walks, thinking, "I think there's something fishy behind this." Recalling the 5 basic ability categories, he looks determined, wondering, should I investigate? How? As Seung-yeon internally resolves, "I have my ways," to students with cameras suddenly appear, shouting hello. "Are you perhaps Junior Ki Seung-yeon from the Hunter department?" The male student asks. Seung-yeon, surprised, confirms, "Okay, it's him." "Emily, camera," he exclaims as Emily readies her lens, shocking Seung-yeon. Their camera zooms in on a flustered Seung-yeon as they declare, "We are Seongan Ability School's newspaper club." The reporter then requests Seung-yeon to wear a peculiar black ring for a moment. A close-up reveals the plain black band being placed onto Seung-yeon's finger. The ring on Seung-yeon's finger subtly glows, prompting a new from the reporter. "Just one line. This is more impressive than I thought." The reporter marvels, while Seung-yeon asks, "What is this?" "Haha, just as reported. You really don't know anything," the reporter exclaims. "This is a rank measuring device. Your F rank," he declares, leaving Seung-yeon utterly stunned. The reporter cheers. "An F rank in the Hunter department. This will save our newspaper club." As Seung-yeon shouts, "Newspaper. Wait, who said you could?" Seung-yeon starts, but the reporter cuts in. "Now let's proceed with the interview." The reporter shoves the mic at Seung-yeon, aggressively asking, "What kind of tricks did you use to get in? Rumors say you bribed the school," he yells, "or you're a Chaebul's son, or famous Hunter's son." Seung-yeon glares, thinking, "I've had enough of these people." As the reporter asks for his thoughts, "Put the camera down." "While I'm asking nicely," Seung-yeon warns Emily, who nervously agrees. "Oh no, can you call yourself a journalist?" the reporter cries. But Seung-yeon demands the ring back. The reporter laughs wildly. "If you want to end this interview, you'll have to take me down." The reporter sneers, "Impossible for an F-rank parachute student like you." He cackles maniacally, even as Seung-yeon grabs his collar. Seung-yeon slams the reporter down, who yelps, "Won't publish. I'll give you the ring." While Emily keeps snapping photos, Seung-yeon thinks, "I was worried this might happen, and now these jerks show up." As the reporter cries, this really hurts." Looking at the school, Seung-yeon wonders, "Can I even join the student council?" Amidst the reporter's ongoing screams, a quick sketch reveals Emily is from the medical department, and the reporter from the welfare department. The scene briefly cuts to the scanlation team's credits for the island where stars and chains rise. The reporter's laughter turns to a pained grimace under Seung-yeon's tightening hold. "I surrender. I'll give you the ring." The reporter shrieks again, pinned as Emily relentlessly films. Seung-yeon muses, "I didn't expect it, but even guys like this are showing up." While the reporter continues to wail, Seung-yeon ponders his future. "Can I even get into the student council?" As the school building looms, the reporter's pain shouts continue. It really freaking hurts." A stark white panel declares, "Change came quickly." A professor with wild dark hair addresses the class. "All right. This mock monster battle will be conducted in teams of 3 or more." One student awkwardly approaches Seung-yeon. Seung-yeon, was it?" I'm sorry. Our team is a little." Another student dismissively chimes in. We already found people to team up with. What to do?" A girl with a stern gaze adds, "We only accept C rank or higher, though. Is your rank perhaps?" Seung-yeon, now with blue hair, looks dejected and turns to the professor. "Professor," Seung-yeon states, "no team will let me join them." As the professor replies, "What?" The professor delivers the harsh reality, "Then you'll have to do it alone," shocking Seung-yeon. Seung-yeon stares in disbelief, vertical lines emphasizing his shock at the professor's words. He now faces a colossal, shadowy monster alone, sword in hand in the mock battle arena. This is bullsh. Seung-yeon starts to yell as a powerful force seems to erupt. Defeated, he thinks, I guess I should have expected this kind of treatment. As his total score flashes, 0. But the professor calls out, pointing to a complex diagram. All right then. Student Ki Seung-yeon. The professor challenges him to devise a dungeon strategy, but Seung-yeon bluntly admits, I don't know. Question after question follows, with Seung-yeon failing to provide correct answers about dungeon tactics. The professor finally explodes. Why did you even come here? Seung-yeon can only offer a sheepish, sweaty apology. I'm sorry. The scene transitions to the bustling Dotori Hall, the student cafeteria. Seung-yeon fumes in the cafeteria. The professor being in a hole is something I really can't stand. He rages internally. Why is that bastard only questioning me with impossible monster trivia from 1986? Suddenly, a girl with familiar blue hair and a food tray spots Seung-yeon from across the room. She beams, waving enthusiastically towards him with a bright, friendly smile. Seung-yeon looks up, startled by the unexpected greeting mid-meal. Another girl quickly pulls the blue-haired girl away, urging, let's go quickly, So-hyun. My little sister. Let's eat together. Her friend insists, tugging So-hyun along playfully. Seung-yeon sighs, a bead of sweat tracing his temple as he watches them go. He thinks grimly, if my sister stays away from me, she won't get dragged into this. Seung-yeon sits alone, a solitary figure amidst the bustling cafeteria crowd. Seung-yeon stoically accepts his current treatment, thinking, it's okay, this kind of treatment. He recalls his solitary middle school days, realizing nothing has changed. Eating alone, Seung-yeon worries, the real problem is the student council. I can't get elected like this. He muses, unless I show some kind of strong side when someone suddenly approaches. A white-haired student with piercing eyes appears, asking, eating alone again. After what you did, no one would be friendly, the newcomer remarks as Seung-yeon glares. The white-haired student sits down, stating, I have something to tell you. It's about your older sister, he reveals, making Seung-yeon instantly alert. The student gravely adds, because your sister isn't in a good situation either. Seung-yeon stares, a bead of sweat forming, visibly shocked by the ominous news. Seung-yeon leans in, a bead of sweat on his face, demanding, tell me in detail. The white-haired student, with intense yellow eyes, meets Seung-yeon's gaze. He starts to recount the events, his expression serious and focused. The flashback shows a mock monster battle class. Two girls stand over a defeated beast. One blonde girl, scuffed and annoyed, glares at her teammate, asking, for real, what are you doing? Seung-yeon's sister, So-hyun, looks flustered, spear in hand, exclaiming, huh? The blonde criticizes So-hyun's performance. You haven't used your ability. And it's not like you're good with weapons either. So-hyun stammers an apology. A third teammate with short brown hair waves cheerfully, hey, I did twice the work, so it's fine. The blonde girl dismisses it with an ugh, forget it, and walks off, leaving the other two. So-hyun apologizes to her remaining teammate, sorry, Modin, as the white-haired student watches them. The white-haired student explains, still. It seemed okay because Modin Nuna took care of her in their shared classes. But that was only then, he continues as So-hyun sits dejectedly in class. A star hairpin in her blue hair. So-hyun thinks, as expected, I can't use magic since that day. Recalling the professor's hollow reassurances, a painful memory flashes, a red-haired figure in distress, causing So-hyun to wince, ugh. She wonders about events 7 years ago, as the narrator mentions the S-rank gate in Mapogu. So-hyun recalls the mysterious blue cube, a topic authorities suspiciously avoid discussing. Overwhelmed, So-hyun's eyes droop with exhaustion as she thinks, I'm tired. She questions her fatigue, was school always this tiring? As her weariness deepens. Unbeknownst to her, So-hyun dozes off at her desk, the classroom sounds fading into a blur. So-hyun jolts awake in shock, exclaiming, huh? What the? Class is over. As students file out, So-hyun scolds herself. I'm an idiot. What kind of student sleeps in class? As her blonde teammate slumbers beside her. Panicked, she realizes I didn't copy anything down, who can I? Spotting the white-haired student, So-hyun watches nervously as the white-haired student chats, while her still sleeping friend is surrounded by an icy aura. Suddenly, the white-haired student's head whips around, alerted by something. So-hyun gasps, a sudden idea or realization striking her. She bolts from the classroom, rushing down the hallway. The white-haired student is left looking utterly bewildered. So-hyun stands alone at the foot of a staircase, backpack on, looking downcast. Tears well in her eyes as she thinks despairingly, I'm an idiot. A voice calls out, hey, are you crying? Making So-hyun turn in surprise. A muscular student with a wide grin approaches the tearful So Hyun. So Hyun recognizes him, a bead of sweat on her cheek, as a memory of him yelling flashes. He casually asks, "What? Was it just because of something like that?" referring to her distress. "Want me to show you my notes?" he offers, and So Hyun lights up, exclaiming, "Huh, really?" "Of course, follow me," he says, and So Hyun eagerly agrees, "Okay?" He leads her towards a door labeled Lecture Room 2. Inside, he calls out, "Hey, Hong Yoonbi," to a girl with short brown hair. Yoonbi turns, asking, "Huh? What is it, Jinul?" as So Hyun looks on, confused. Jinul grins, demanding, "Show me your notes from class earlier," while So Hyun gapes in disbelief. Yoonbi looks troubled, reminding him, Junul, you said last time was really the last time." Junul declares a freshman couldn't take notes. "I'm asking on her behalf and for me too." Yoonbi looks utterly conflicted, a bead of sweat rolling down her cheek. Junul presses her, "What's wrong? I can't fail this year again." He leans in, intensely asking Yoonbi, "Do you want to see me fail?" So Hyun timidly speaks up, "Excuse me, if you don't want to, you don't have to show them." Junul turns, surprised by So Hyun's interruption, as Yoonbi watches. So Hyun internally questions, asking someone to show them against their will when they don't want to. "That's not right, is it?" she thinks as Junul demands, "What's that?" Junul glares, retorting, "You're talking like I'm doing something bad, aren't you?" He confronts So Hyun, "I'm trying to help you, and this is how you act," as she stammers. So Hyun quietly asks, "Isn't it actually a bad thing?" making Junul scowl. Junul suddenly burst into mocking laughter. Snicker, hee. So Hyun, unnerved, stammers, "Then I'll be going now, I guess," as Junul turns. Suddenly, a strong hand violently grabs So Hyun's wrist. Junul yanks her back, snarling, "Hey, you think you can just leave like this?" He tightens his grip, accusing, "You have a talent for making people look weird, you know that." As So Hyun pleads, "I get it, so let go of me and let's just talk." Junul glares, teeth bared, "You have to clear up the misunderstanding before you go." So Hyun, terrified and sweating, can only utter, this, with a desperate cry of "let go." So Hyun shoves Junul hard. Yoonbi gasps, hand flying to her mouth, witnessing the sudden confrontation. So Hyun stares in wide-eyed shock at Junul's back, a jolt of surprise flashing above her. Junul reels back, blood trickling from his nose and staining his hands. His expression one of pure disbelief. He thrusts his bloodied hand towards So Hyun, demanding, what the how did you injure my body?" as she utters a nervous "ooh." Clutching his bleeding nose, Junul glares, questioning if So Hyun used some kind of ability. "And no," he yells, "I'm a body arts master. I shouldn't get hurt by something so minor." While So Hyun looks away, flustered, Junul roars in close-up, his bloody mouth wide, "But you hurt me." A disembodied voice declares, "Because you're returnee." So Hyun freezes, pure terror washing over her face as she clutches her chest. Junul's face darkens, a sinister aura emanating as he mutters, "A returnee? That girl?" A monstrous shadow of Junul looms as So Hyun trembles, thoughts of another one, and how scary, filling the air. Junul looms over So Hyun, questioning, "Does using your abilities on others mean nothing to you?" He grits his teeth, snarling, "I should have known from the boat." Suddenly, a bright blue, crystalline shield erupts, deflecting Junul's enraged face as So Hyun gasps. So Hyun stares in wide-eyed shock at the glowing, intricate shield now hovering beside her. A new pair of sneakers steps into view as a calm voice remarks, "That's not right, huh?" The white-haired student stands before them, emanating a cool blue aura, telling So Hyun, "Those are good words." He strides forward, his gaze intense, declaring her words the best answer for witnessing injustice. The newcomer's confident stance is emphasized as his earlier observation hangs in the air. His protective presence solidifies, affirming So Hyun's courageous statement once more. The white-haired student's conviction shines, praising her stand against wrongdoing. The chapter titled "The Plans" appears as the white-haired student raises a triumphant fist. Junul demands, "Who are you?" as the newcomer calmly introduces himself, Seal Subin. "I'm a freshman." Yoonbi questions, "When did that older sister use her ability?" But Junul insists So Hyun must have. Junul, bloodied and enraged, suddenly accuses Subin, "You also used your ability on me just now." Subin coolly explains, "It's common sense that returnees have superior physical abilities, senior." He elaborates that some returnees surpass body arts masters, then asks if anyone saw So Hyun use powers. Subin then challenges Junul directly, and "What's wrong with using abilities?" leaving Junul stunned. He recounts Junul's aggressive actions, grabbing So Hyun, revealing her secret, and nearly attacking. Subin's sharp gaze meets Junul's, stating using abilities is quite tame compared to your actions. Senior. Junil, incensed, lunges forward, roaring, "This scrawny little brat." Junil's eyes widen, momentarily stunned by Subin's audacity. Subin stands bathed in a powerful aura, towering over the fuming senior. With piercing yellow eyes, Subin issues a chilling challenge: never refuse a spar. A memory flashes to girls excitedly fangirling over a picture of Subin. Junil grits his bloody teeth, his rage simmering intensely. This piece of Junil seethes, as Yumbi watches in fear. Subin remains unfazed, his golden gaze fixed on the enraged Junil. Elsewhere, a blue-haired student looks troubled, asking someone, "Got it?" Subin, eating noodles, advises him, "I understand why you avoid your sister, but at least show some interest." He adds, "Now that everyone knows you're a returnee too, your sister's school life won't be easy." As the boy despairs, the blue-haired student's eye reveals his troubled thoughts, a bead of sweat forming. He sighs, "Even if you say that, my own situation isn't exactly easy right now either. What can I possibly do?" He despairs, but his blonde companion interjects, "It seems like there might be a way." Suddenly, Subin appears between them, casually slurping noodles, startling the blue-haired boy. The blonde student, equally surprised, stammers, What? When did you get here?" Ignoring the question, the blonde student stares intently at his bowl, muttering, "This noodle dish." He laments, "Last year, the noodles were chewier, and they tasted better. The broth was thick, with plenty of meat too." A fond memory of the previous, smiling cafeteria lady surfaces as he sighs. If only that incident last year hadn't happened. The blue-haired student looks on with a worried expression, while Subin listens patiently. The blonde student slams the table, dramatically wailing about the tragedy of the cafeteria lady changing, as Subin dryly repeats, "No, I asked when you got here." The blue-haired student shouts, "You just appeared without a sound, but that's not what's important." His blonde companion interjects, "You said there might be a way to improve your reputation." Hope glimmers in the blue-haired boy's eyes as he asks, "A method? What is it?" The blonde student reveals the plan: aim for the observation class 2 weeks from now. "Observation class, the one where parents come to watch?" the blue-haired boy questions. "Receiving a yeah," Subin chimes in, explaining it's a 1-to-1 sparring class between freshmen and 90th class students like himself. Subin, however, expresses doubt. "No, there's no way there's an observation class like that." The blonde student clarifies, No, it's not a class where parents observe. Unqualified individuals aren't even allowed." He continues, "The people who will be observing there are," as ominous silhouettes appear, numerous pro-hunters from the industry, leaving both Subin and the blue-haired boy stunned. The observers are revealed: guild members, corporation managers, and many other pro-hunters. The blonde student explains it's a major event where these powerful figures watch their spars. A spark ignites in the blue-haired boy's eyes as he realizes, "If I perform well, I can greatly change my reputation," he exclaims, envisioning his success. Subin, considering the large number of participants, asks about the event's specific procedure. The blue-haired student recalls last year's method, grouping by student ID number. His blonde companion suggests finding a D-rank opponent to impress, even offering to list weaker kids. "No, I don't need D-rank," the blue-haired boy states firmly, shocking his friend. A bead of sweat rolls down his face, his gaze fixed with newfound determination. The scene transitions to an exterior shot of Dak Namu Hall, Seongun's library. Inside Seongun's library, the blue-haired student asks, "What? Data viewing room?" He tells Professor Chai Ji-hyung his plan. "I'm going to look at some student data videos." The professor casually grants access, swiping a card. "Well, it probably doesn't matter." The blue-haired student enters the restricted data viewing room, welcomed as Professor Chai Ji-hyung. He recalls last year's system. Observation class groups were by student ID number, right? A diagram shows his ID is close to returnees, meaning they'll likely be grouped. He calculates with about 30 per group. "At least one returnee will be with me." Holding a data file, he declares, "I'll master their combat styles and challenge them." He visualizes subduing a returnee with his chains before a large audience. With a bead of sweat and fierce determination, he vows, "I will subdue the returnee." "That's right," echoes Junil's resolve for vengeance as night deepens over a grand building. He slams his fist on the table, fuming. "Because of Ki So-hyun, I was utterly embarrassed." A pink-haired girl with him asks, "So what are you going to do?" Junil snarls, "Observation class. I'll show that brat." She smirks, a challenging glint in her red eyes. "You? After he made your nose bleed?" She taunts, and Junil visibly winces. "But I agree," she muses, delicately slicing her dessert. "Ki So-hyun is unlikable." She then offers with a knowing smile, "Want me to do it for you?" Junil, surprised, questions, "You think you can win?" She replies, "Of course, but in exchange, you do me one favor," she states, her sly smile unwavering. Junil warns he's a returnee. "Even for you, it'll be tough." She coolly insists there's a way. The pink-haired girl confidently states, because he's a returnee, it'll be easier to catch him. While the blue-haired boy studies intently. 2 weeks pass, and the blue-haired student approaches the momentous arena doors. With preparations finished, the doors begin to open, revealing his determined expression. He enters a massive stadium, a buzz from the crowd filling the air as other students await. A close-up reveals his focused eyes. It's finally time to prove himself. Stepping through, his resolve is absolute. Every detail of his plan is in place. He takes in the vast arena, surrounded by peers, all under the public eye. The pressure mounts, but his gaze is fixed. This is his moment of truth. Meanwhile, at the academy building, a different class is dismissed for the day. A blue-haired girl sits disheartened, thinking, "I couldn't do anything." As her classmate continues their task, a man with glasses approaches So Hyun, asking her to come with him for a moment. He reveals he's taken her to where the observation class is being held, much to her surprise. They walk along a scenic path by a lake, So Hyun trailing him with a hesitant. So Hyun questions if there's a classroom out here, and he confirms it's just ahead. He leads her to a lone elevator in the woods, instructing her to get in. The elevator, he explains, is one of the many paths leading to Underground Hall 13. Inside the descending elevator, the atmosphere grows tense as they go deeper. He casually asks So Hyun if she's ever been underground, and she nervously replies, "Oh no." He discloses that the school was once a huge secret, with most buildings not visible on the surface. So Hyun is stunned as he reveals these facilities are all hidden underground. The man with glasses smirks as So Hyun looks on, the elevator continuing its descent. Doors slide open, revealing a breathtaking, sprawling underground city that leaves So Hyun speechless. "A secret base, it's a secret base," So Hyun exclaims, utterly thrilled by the hidden metropolis. Something like that, he chuckles as So Hyun, eyes wide, wonders what secrets this place holds. He reveals it houses things too dangerous to keep above ground, and So Hyun gasps, intrigued. He mentions mysterious magical tools with incredibly dangerous abilities, and peculiar zones warped by dungeon breaks, and terrifying monsters captured for research purposes, he adds, showing a massive, chained beast. A chilling close-up reveals a dark, empty void where the monster's core should be. Besides that, he continues, there are secret spaces even I don't know much about. Overwhelmed and panting, So Hyun stares as a luminous, flower-like object materializes before her. In a grand, luminous hall, the man with glasses turns to So Hyun. "Well, anyway, So Hyun." So Hyun looks up, slightly startled as he asks, "How's school life these days?" The man listens intently, his expression unreadable as So Hyun prepares to answer. "Well," So Hyun admits with a slight blush, "I still don't make friends easily. But still, there's Modin," she says, though a flashback shows Dan correcting her name. "And Purium and Woojin are nice to me too." So Hyun adds, recalling their friendly faces. "Subin too, I guess," she trails off, remembering him sharing notes. "But all the other kids avoid me. It's expected," she sighs. "I think it's because I caused trouble. Last time, I hurt someone." Her eyes fill with anxiety as she whispers, "If I hurt another person this time, or what happened last time repeats." She trails off, a terrifying image of dark, splattered energy flashing in her mind. The man with glasses reassures So Hyun with a gentle pat, "Don't worry about it. If it gets dangerous, I'll stop it," he promises, adding, "Your younger brother is here too." So Hyun looks up, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "That's right." He turns, opening a door with a creak, firmly stating, "And what happened last time absolutely cannot happen again." So Hyun steps out to a balcony overlooking a massive, buzzing arena filled with students. "Wow, so many people," she murmurs. As the professor greets another instructor who notes his tardiness, the other instructor glares, "You're 1 minute and 42 seconds late," before the professor grabs a mic to address the crowd. "This is an observation class," he announces, revealing seniors and juniors will form tag teams for 10-minute spars. Standing in the vast arena center, he explains, "We're underground because of this special sparring arena. This arena," he declares, "is sponsored by UJ Motto Engineering." The professor, microphone in hand, continues his address to the eager students. With a click, he activates a shimmering, golden energy barrier around the square sparring platform. When the spar begins, he explains, "Your bodies and the statues placed here will be linked through the suits. And if you receive a hit within the sparring arena, all of that impact." He dramatically swings the mic, and the other instructor's statue takes a visible hit. So Hyan and her classmate watch, wide-eyed and mouths agape at the demonstration. The chibi statue of the other instructor cracks and shatters under the force of the blow. "We'll be taken by the statue like this," he finishes, as the real instructor hovers unharmed. So Hyan gasps, realizing, aha, so that's why he said we could freely use our abilities. Well, anyway, the professor grins. It's a type of senior to junior mentorship class. The professor tells them not to be nervous, but one student questions, "Don't be nervous." Another student, sweating, thinks that doesn't make sense. A trio of imposing figures with stern expressions appear, observing the event. The student looks out at the packed arena, exclaiming internally, "How can we not be nervous in this situation?" His eyes dart around, realizing, given how large-scale this is, they're definitely here. He knows exactly who they are, hunters from big corporations' guilds. Indeed, Ki Seung-yin's deduction was spot on. Shin Se-young and Yu-jae, the two giants of the hunter industry, are present. Not just any members, but bigwigs from both corporations are seated in the audience. From Shin Se-young Guild, the formidable Oh Kang-ho and Ma Tae-oh watch intently. And representing Yu-jae Guild are the equally keen-eyed Gu Ji-won and Do Jin-wook. Ma Tae-oh questions Senior Kang-ho, "Why do we have to spend our time on these kids' classes?" Kang-ho, with a knowing look, replies, "All right, this is your first observation class." He clarifies it's more than just friendly matches, something perceptive students already grasp. This arena, Kang-ho reveals, is a field of opportunity for students to impress hunter guilds. Ma Tae-oh realizes with a jolt, in other words, what we're here to do is a form of talent scouting. Kang-ho sternly instructs him to watch every single match without missing a detail. Two formidable-looking senior students exude an intimidating presence, ready for the spars. A confident blonde senior scans the crowd, pondering who should be my opponent. His gaze lands on someone, thinking, as expected, that one looks the most delicious, huh? Before a flicker of surprise, a female student with light green hair and a large case on her back is addressed to senior. A blue-haired student boldly challenges the green-haired senior. "Let's spar." The blonde senior and others reel back in utter shock at his audacity. The green-haired senior turns, her expression a silent, puzzled question mark. Onlookers murmur, wondering if the challenger knows who he's up against, recognizing him as that famous guy. The blonde senior narrows his eyes, contemptuously thinking, is he a dog? Unfazed, the green-haired senior adjusts her large case and turns away. Both the challenger and the blonde senior watch her depart, the tension palpable. Another student, with white hair, shouts, "Are you really going to fight a Ritterny? I'm not one to joke around." The blue-haired challenger remains resolute. Her strength doesn't matter, with my chains. Like with the sealing tool, his wrist device suddenly glows, crackling with potent blue energy. The blue-haired challenger imagines striking down his detractor, thinking, "I can definitely overpower them." The blonde senior smirks, I don't know what it is, but it seems you have an ace up your sleeve. Still, you chose well, the blonde remarks, since she's the weakest among the Ritterny students. As the challenger wonders, why? The blonde senior explains, she doesn't use their Ritterny abilities. The blue-haired challenger's eye narrows in silent contemplation. "What?" he asks, to which the blonde retorts, surprised. What? You didn't know. She only fights using magical tools, the blonde reveals, adding, she sealed her own abilities at the end of last year. The challenger looks stunned, realizing, you'll be facing a Ritterny who doesn't use Ritterny abilities.